Hello, welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number
107.5 The Eagle.
I'm AJ.
I'm Steve.
And Steve, it is my privilege to welcome Mr. Luke Constantinidis.
That's very well done, actually. I thought we were going to have to do like a tutorial on last name pronunciation. So.
No, sir.
All right, well done.
It can all be Holt or Nix.
Right.
Constantinidis?
Got to think can't stand fajitas. Get that kid.
But
that
not
kid.
Yes,
Yes, exactly.
I love fajitas.
Yeah. No one ever.
So we are very happy to have you here on the live video too. Yep, you're one of us because you're a car guy.
One of us.
Yes.
Yes.
You're a car guy. You like music.
Yes.
And you like bourbon.
Bourbon. Yes. Brown liquor.
There you
favorite.
go. Steve, what are you? So what are you drinking first, Luke?
So I have Southern Star Paragon. So this is their cast strength barrel weeded straight bourbon whiskey. So
Excellent.
yes, support local.
Maybe we should just have some of that.
Sure, okay.
Yes, absolutely. Here.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
A few things. Snickers veins, stray cat kittens, indiscriminate vegetative reduction, and in Britain they call it a lift, but Americans call it an elevator. I guess we're just raised differently.
Yeah. All right, so start at the beginning. Snickers veins.
Yes, there have been some controversy regarding the generous chocolate vein.
The giant dick vein in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it going veinless? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently not.
Okay, good.
Is it a veinless Snickers, a Milky Way?
Right.
That would also be devoid of the peanuts.
Yes. Well,
which makes even more
castrated
comedy
Snickers
out of it.
Is the Milky Way?
Castrated Snickers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Thank you.
All
Again.
almonds.
Oh yeah, no
joy.
problem. You'll have as much fun you can have without your clothes off. My man, that is excellent. I like that. Well, Steve, what else are we going to be drinking?
See, I've got 3 of these, 3 of those, and just both of these cans here, which is Gilda of Hanover.
Yeah.
And these are still German produced, but there's now a new Gilda brewery in Charlotte.
Is it Gilda Radner?
Is this thing on?
Crickets.
Yeah.
I could have sworn this was an Irish thing when I first saw it, only because it's green, and I saw the E at the end. I didn't necessarily think it was German.
So where is that brewery?
South End somewhere. I know Sean and Karn went right before their plate party, and now they're off vacationing somewhere again.
It's right near. Actually, she'll be at Saucer tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
But it's right near Old Mech, actually, which is weird, but.
Because that's what we needed in the South End is another brewery.
Yeah,
because there's this really void of breweries in this town.
And oddly enough, an actual German brewery next to the German-themed brewery.
Yeah,
right,
an actual German brewery. Now,
Jawohl.
I like
Guten Tag, wie geht's?
I like Old Mecklenburg beers, but I don't love them and never have. Fat Boy's the best one to me by far. I'm just not a big German beer guy, I guess.
I'm in the minority when it comes to this beer. So don't look at me as being a foremost authority in beer consumption just because anything.
Don't look at us. We just had a lot.
Okay. I'm sure in mass production, and I'm sure beer is great, but like unless it's aged in it, nice, well played, gentlemen. Unless it's aged in a bourbon barrel, it's probably not going in my mouth.
Understood. And I've gravitated more toward. I mean, I still drink a lot of beer, but I've gravitated more towards bourbon because after a meal or like it's so heavy to drink an entire beer after a meal.
I feel bloated afterwards, and at this age, I don't need any more excuses to feel like I'm about to like explode. You know. So.
Well, you're 8. How old are you?
Look, do we play the game of guess how old you are? Or
we can.
Okay,
but we're.
Then I'll say you're my age, aren't
my
you?
age. I did make an assumption that we're all approximately the same age, but that could be a bad assumption.
I'm 36.
36, okay.
40.
40. All right. So I'm the elder statesman of the group at 45.
So, not only that, I think you're the oldest guest we've had.
Oh, wow, great. Do I get like a free ARP membership? Like what happens now?
You still got you got to pay for it.
That
comes out of your Social Security.
Need something free at this age. Come on.
I will say that you completely look my age.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, I don't...
You got to stop and say you don't look 45, and then at that point, be like, is that older? Is that younger? Like, what's happening? Like,
no,
I totally got in my head at that point.
I went specific with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Thank you. Warms my black heart.
Nice. So, Steve went to Phoenix. last week, right?
Yes. So Sunday through Thursday was in Phoenix for allegedly a business case, part conference and part sightseeing. So also got to check out a few breweries along the way.
Awesome. Anything that stood out for you?
One of the most fun moments was drinking with the gentleman that happened to run the vending machines for my car vending enterprise.
Okay.
Yes, he works at Carvana.
Oh. Is the part where we give like a shout out to Carvana or no?
I've worked there 2 years. I have yet to buy a car from them because we expensive.
Okay.
And in those 2 years, I bought 2 cars from points elsewhere that one was a little more basket cases than the other, but I saved its life, then it saved mine.
Yes, it did. Luke has not heard that story about...
Yeah, so replace that vibe with a 2016 Scion IM that a month into its ownership, some sort of gas leak was happening. So it was causing the check engine light to turn on. First shop wanted $1,500 to replace the whole tank. Second shop charged a little over $400 to do miscellaneous repair.
Miscellaneous.
Band-Aid on it. The check engine light never came back on, but where the gas filler is on the car, between the driver rear quarter panel, is where the car got hit. So it was, through the rear driver door to about the back bumper got obliterated by an F-150. Mind you, this is effectively a Corolla hatchback.
Oh.
So after establishing the hard way that this is a safe car, I replaced it with a 2017 model for, after insurance, a $1,100 difference. Mm-hmm. Or I guess after...
To the good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the 16 red car was $8,000. Mm-hmm. The silver car was $12,900.
Okay.
Insurance paid $11,800 on the red car because this was also the beginning of all hell breaking loose with the used car market.
Right. Okay. Yes.
But there wasn't $4,000 wrong with that car, but at least discovered what could have been $1,500 wrong with the car.
Gotcha.
Plus cigarette burns and missing parts and a spare tire worn to the cords.
So are you still driving your $1,100 Toyota Corolla upgrade?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's doing fine. I need to get its windshield replaced before its inspection next month, but yes, it's doing fine.
I saw that Toyota is actually just releasing a new hot hatch.
Yes.
Makes it very moist.
Yep. BR86.
It's the GR Corolla. So it's going to be the Gazoo Masters of Nürburgring Sport Series. Mm-hmm. Like, praise Allah, it's not going to be a TRD anything, because if ever I get another Tacoma, I don't want TRD emblazoned on its flanks.
You don't want a turd on the side of
your
What an unfortunate...
or really any vowel noise doesn't sound good.
Right.
Well,
It's either although it might as well be
I checked recently.
although from the news of the Johnny Depp case, it might as well be the heavy industries of Toyota, so it'd be Hino Racing Development or Herd.
Oh.
Shitty joke.
Amber is not the color of my energy. So we will do... You want to do the news, and then we get to do something we haven't done in a while because we haven't had a first-time guest. We get to go through his car history.
Oh, car history.
That's what every time we have a first-time guest, we always go through car history. But first, Steve, the news. Lexus has teased a photo of the F variant of the LC Coupe, so they're going to release an LCF, which will have the really weird beak nose, but probably be faster than fuck and be really comfortable.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were allowed to go on during the news when it comes to Lexus products. I'm sorry. Go on.
Not a big Lexus person, are you?
No. Upgraded Toyotas. That's great. Yay.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to see the Lexus hot hatch with the 3-cylinder turbo monster.
Right, okay. Yeah. Sure, I'll pay $20 extra grand for that. Yeah. That's for to have that big L on the front.
Yeah.
For love. Anyway, go on.
Our buddy had an RCF. Brian had an RC before he had his Supra. He got a new Supra now. He said it would just eat the miles up. Like, it's the best grand touring vehicle. You just get in, be comfortable, and just go and cruise at 100 and just never break a sweat.
Right.
But for how weird the front is, at least they're trying to make it look different, because every other car looks exactly the same now, especially CUVs.
Yeah, the Lexus Sport Utes really suffer from that really hourglass shape. That's everything really just keeps getting super stretched.
Yeah. Yes,
at least the AS 500 is the best application of said hourglass. It's still not good, just less awful.
Yes, Volkswagen is considering a U.S. market EV pickup truck.
It's return of the Taro.
Yeah.
which is the European version of a Toyota Hilux sold under Volkswagen in the early 90s.
Did not know that.
And I can't imagine that going well. I don't.
The market's about to get saturated though with electric trucks, right?
Yeah.
Like it first started with Rivian, who's now also increased their price point by another 20 grand. Yep, exactly. Ford F-150 is coming out with their Lightning, and then what else?
And
is
they have
out there?
the Maverick Hybrid is really proved quite popular.
Yes,
but the Hummer weighs 8,000 pounds.
That's how we save the planet, y'all. 4 tons at a time.
Right. So you just all deplete our 401k accounts to get one of those, right? Yeah, it's a small fortune.
I'm going to gravitate towards the George Carlin bit about, he goes, people want to save the planet. He goes, we can't take care of ourselves. The planet's fine. The people are fucked. He's like, you think plastic's going to hurt the earth? They're going to shake. It's like, it's going to be earth plus plastic. They're going to shake us off like a bad case of fleas. So we can't. Now we're going to colonize Mars, but we can't take care of this planet. So.
Well, that's because, again, we're going to rot this planet to the ground,
Yeah.
and so we got to go colonize elsewhere. So we're just planning in advance.
God, we're such an Amber Heard. Toyota is officially adding the manual transmission to the new Supra.
Hashtag save the manuals.
Save the manuals.
Yes.
One of us.
Yes. Absolutely. That will go into my car history dialogue once we get there.
Oh yeah, Steve, you've owned an automatic vehicle, have you not?
None were registered to me, but that were my daily driver.
Okay, yeah, 2 of mine were, but then the last 9 have been sticks. So, Tesla Cybertruck is to go on sale in 2023, according to discount Elon Musk. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan.
So one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is Epic Rap Battles of History. And
Yes.
they did this skit of Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg, whatever. Right.
I know. I like Elon Musk now.
You're welcome.
Elon fucks.
Right. But yeah, he has it's a good Tesla in concept. I feel like that is a good product. It lacks sex appeal. It's an iPad in a metal case on wheels.
Yep.
That's all I see.
They are not a car company. They are a software company.
Fact.
That's what it is. That's why your panel gap looks like Michael Strahan's fucking teeth, in places. So now the new Lucid Air is hot.
Yes.
That's a good looking. See, I told you you'd like this guy.
Yes, absolutely.
It's incredible they managed
to. On sale yet? The Lucid Air? And again, that's another small fortune.
Yes, because there's one on Cars and Bids right now.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They actually managed to make the car from Top Gear 3000 and make it look good.
It does look like a Top Gear 3000 car, which I need to play more because I always play Top Gear 2 on the Raspberry Pi.
Superior.
Do you have a Raspberry Pi?
I know what a Raspberry Pi is, and I know it's not for consumption.
I've got one over there.
I have not played one in
Says
a while.
you.
Right. No, but I do have because I see your little mini Nintendo down there.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I have an emulator also that's not just the one that you get from the store. It's
Right.
It has 200 plus SNES games, 500 plus NES games. Yeah, and so that's where I live. That's my lane. That's
the
where
goods.
I stay.
It's the goods.
Yeah.
Mazda is reviving the rotary engine for the hybrid MX-30.
Sure.
At least it's a hybrid, so inevitably when you blow out your apex seals, you can still drive the car in electric.
Yeah, it better be a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, it's a plug-in. I believe it's a plug-in hybrid. We've had one guest on here, Mr. Mark Konechny. By the way, we've had a history of having people with really hard to pronounce last names anyway.
Okay, so we're consistent, right? At least you're on brand.
Okay. We've had a Basser Grote last name and Konechny and Rudasil. So we've had a lot of interesting last names here.
Okay.
They, like I said, but together ours is 7 letters.
Do they also can't stand fajitas?
I'm sure. Who doesn't like fajitas?
All right. Okay. Just making sure. Just still driving home the pronunciation there.
Actually, you know how I got it? I looked at your Facebook profile, and you had the pronunciation there.
I appreciate that. I was wondering how many people actually listen to that to try to figure it out.
I'm not going. I had an idea of how I thought it was going to go, but if I'm going to do it right and it's going to be on air and recorded, I'm going to get that fucker right the first time.
And you did. Nailed it.
That's what I'm here.
That was one of
Right.
Yes. Just getting my nails did.
Easter was last week.
Actually, no, it's not. It's this week. According to my religion, which is Greek Orthodox, by the way, today is Easter for me. Well, that I still don't celebrate. So I just
That's fair.
No, I go for the food, right? I'm there for the family food gatherings. But because I had 3 concerts in 5 days. Couldn't squeeze it in with the family. So
yes, he's been to way more concerts than you could shake a stick at.
We have 19 this year.
Wow.
We've gone to. Well, I'll go through the list later. Yeah,
oh yeah, that'll be a fun list.
I keep interrupting the news. I apologize. This is really important stuff,
dude.
guys.
There's one time we're
What,
15
sidetracked.
Yes.
We're 15 minutes in, and one time we didn't get done with the news till an hour in. So
okay,
yeah,
that's
we
good.
we get sidetracked.
Okay.
In case you're wondering, it's kind of a free form thing.
All right, I'm gathering that. Okay.
Renault is exploring selling its stake in Nissan to help fund its future EV projects. Because what says reliable more than a Fritsch electric car?
Yeah.
Which is going to be weird because...
they left the U.S. market in, the 80s?
Yes, because Nissan's releasing the Z, which I really fucking want.
Oh, that thing is hot.
I want it, and I'm honestly, in my head, considering... I could probably get $24,000 for that Jeep right now. Mm-hmm. But I'd have to... I'm going to not date...
What year is your Jeep?
14.
You probably can get more than that. Easily.
Because I have
the only drawback is the mileage on it, but it's in perfect shape.
It's over 6 years?
It's at 147.5.
Oh, wow.
He bought it with, 125?
Yeah, 125. But it's like... It's in great shape, like, for that age. It was all highway.
A lot of custom Mopar parts on it, or like are you like added a bunch of
steel bumper, like Mopar steel bumpers, OEM steel bumpers, the Sunrider top, upgraded shifter because the stock one was like twirling a paint stick in a can. A lot of good OEM like good stuff on it. So,
right.
No angry eyes, no douchey shit like that.
That has become a thing lately. Every fucking Wrangler I see out on the road now, it's all got like the slant eyes with the overinflated bumpers on the side.
I want sad eyes.
I have to keep driving in the city.
Yeah,
I'm not used for my intended purpose.
I actually got all 5 of those wheels and tires. They were off of a 2021 Willis with the black.
Yep.
All 5 wheels and tires for $1,400. And the tires themselves would have been like $1,300.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm on the way right now. Just please stay still. And of course, it was this gigantic fucking Russian guy. He's like, yeah, see, the tires are in perfect shape. I'm like, please don't invade me.
Right, exactly.
This was
sell
before
this
that.
vehicle comes a free bottle of vodka, please.
Yes.
Right.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
Let's see. That's all the car related. Well, I was going to say I had to get a daily driver to drive around because music, I can't carry all that shit in a Z.
You could just be really fucking challenging, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm known
a Stagia wagon would be unobtainium.
Boss. Actually, looking at Cherokees
That 5-door
now.
Skyline.
Yeah.
I was looking at Cherokees because I had the 4-liter 97 stick with 350-something thousand miles on it. But thought about getting another one of those because I know how to work on them already. So I don't know. We'll see. The Z's not even out yet, so I'll figure. I'm gonna order. I already know what color. White with that blue interior.
That's sharp.
That would be cool.
That would be really sharp.
Yeah. So that's out with car news. So now we do news. We go cars, bars, and guitars. So we do car news, beer news.
Okay.
Lagunitas is releasing Hoppy Refresher, a hop-infused sparkling water with no calories or alcohol.
I actually saw that the other day.
Yeah.
And no hops either. I mean,
it'd be basically it's bitters without the alcoholic content. It'll just be bitter water.
Which sounds really fucking horrible.
It sounds like Keystone.
Yeah.
Never bitter beer.
Bitter beer face.
Bitter beer face.
Right, exactly.
You know what? For shitty beer, at least shitty beer has good commercials.
Yes.
Except Dilly Dilly was fucking stupid.
They carried that on a little too long.
But I love you, man. And I love you, man. You're not getting my Bud Light. Yeah. That was a good one.
Or Budweiser. Like when they had the frogs, that was like a big thing.
I actually found a set of leather keychains I made in middle school that were frogs and like Bud, Wise, and
Wow.
Yeah, so managed to get away with that sometime in 8th grade leather crafting class.
That's well played. I like the Budweiser commercials, but I'm also haunted by them because back in the day, I actually worked for Budweiser.
In the meantime, I had the Heineken Hoppy Refresher
as a distributor.
Oh.
Yeah. So I worked for a distribution company.
Was it Adams?
No, so this is originally from southeastern Virginia, so it's in the Virginia Beach area.
Okay.
So work for
757.
757, sup? Represent. So all 5 of us out there. So I used to work for this beverage company, Hoffman Beverage Company. So after I graduated high school, my father ran a bar. I'm going to put that in air quotes right now. We'll get to that later.
All right.
But he received packaged goods from this distribution company, and my father says my son needs a job before he goes off to college. So my first job between high school and college was working on a beer truck.
Nice.
And so again, that was right at the height of the frogs, and so everyone sees me in my little short German shorts with the little back brace with the suspenders and the button-down shirt, and everyone just like, Bud. Just walking up to me like random people, Bud. I'm like, I'm not obligated to finish this fucking sentence. Right? It is not my contract where I have to finish this. Right? Yes, I get it. You're cool. Yay. Keep buying her beer.
420 was a few days ago. Wrong, bud.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your guy, buddy.
Guy, pal.
Not your. I don't run with the rest.
Not your pal,
Doesn't
friend.
matter. It is the new Who's on First.
Yes.
I do. That's a pretty boss job to have right out of high school, though.
Yeah. Whereas my job out of high school was one part valet and one part construction company. Hated the both of them.
I'm still working my job that I
Yeah,
got
it's
in
like
high school.
valeting at the Greensboro Airport. It's like there were some interesting moments, but a lot of downtime with that.
I can imagine so.
And it's funny to think 22 years ago, like whatever cars I was driving then are extinct now.
Right.
Actually, I'm at the same company. I'm not doing the same job. I am not bagging shit anymore. But I still get my 6 weeks of vacation. So
That's impressive. How'd you manage that?
I've
Just
been there
10
almost
years?
20 years.
Oh, that would explain it.
Yeah, I was in management for 10, and I've just recently stepped down in January.
Okay.
To a Monday through Friday position. No more weekends. Now I can play music on the weekends, out of town, get home, and not have to go, well, let's unload the Jeep. I got to go to work in 5 hours. Fuck that. I'm getting too old for that. I can't do that shit anymore. So I actually didn't have any gigs this weekend. I didn't really know what to do. I had a Wednesday night gig at the pizza joint in Dilworth, but I didn't have any this weekend. So kind of got some shit done.
Yeah, I felt kind of dead yesterday after 5 hours of yard work. Hence the indiscriminate vegetable destruction.
Well, we're getting the house painted. I don't know if I told you.
I saw. I know that you've needed to because you're getting harassed by the HOA, and lo and behold, your neighbors have a sign in their yard. Are you going with them or some other company?
Funny story. So, first company came out last Monday. Very nice guy. He's like, okay, what do you want done? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. He gets the quote ready. He goes, all right, Mr. Holt, I'm ready. So we sat down. He goes, okay, so to do the entire exterior, it'll be $13,250. And
Hold on. I heard 5 figures in that. 13.
$13,250. And
That's a used Corolla.
That is 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not a 2012, not a 2017 model.
That is
now you can buy my car for what it was
right
brand new.
That is 6 of my old Cherokees that I could just have. We didn't go with him.
Okay.
So my neighbor,
Can't imagine why.
My neighbor on the corner got theirs done, and then he came out, and I told him what they charged, and he put his clipboard down. He went, "What did you just say to me?" He said, "I'll get your quote done." So he's like, "Okay, we'll do the entire exterior for $43,350." I said, "You're hired."
Right.
So it sucks to have to spend the money, but at the same time, you're adding value to the house. So.
I get that because again, when we get to a certain age, we have to do these adult types of decisions.
Are you going with magenta or fuchsia?
We're going the exact same colors that are there now because it's just cheaper to go back to the same colors.
You don't have to go to Lowe's and pick out your favorite swatch of whatever designer.
Nope.
Sky blue.
At the G-Shock, thank you.
Oh, thank you. So, excuse me.
I heard those were hard to find. Oh, G-Shock. Okay. No, we just decided to go back to the same color, and I was going to try to match up the faded parts at HOA that can suck the fattest part of my ball sack was getting on to me about, but you just can't match up a couple shingles to other ones. Then if you paint that, the rest of the house looks dull. You're like, just fucking paint the whole goddamn thing, man. Anywho, well, yeah, it sucks to spend the money, but you're just it's not a depreciating asset.
It's adulting, right?
Yeah,
it's the same reason why we dropped $4,000. I think it was $4,000. I can't remember, but we actually bought gutter guards. Yeah. One of those high-end gutter guards, shit's not supposed to get in there. It's got a lifetime warranty on it. And so, yeah.
My wife and I are house hunting, and that's untenable. Meanwhile, our rent is cheap, but the house reflects that.
Yeah, he's not very far away.
I'm depending on the lights, 8 minutes away.
Yes.
And our rent's $1,300 a month, and it's on half an acre. It's 3-bed, 2-bath house with a 1.5 car garage that's loaded to the gills with random crap we don't
I
use.
was about to ask, what's the half for? Like,
Or the basically, if you could fit, you could probably fit 2 Corollas in it. It's just that there's an extra space that the door doesn't open that widely.
Right.
So, barring you crash into the refrigerator or the shelving in it, you can probably fit 2 cars in there. It's just going to be snug.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it sucks spending money, but it is what it
This
is,
is
buddy.
life, right?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I can finally pretend to afford something,
I know,
that
AJ, you can't
the market
relate to
went
this.
crazy.
This is 40-something. Yay.
I'll be.
Yeah, this is.
He still goes to bed before we do, so he's already 40-something.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I might be 50-something. Beer market is projected to close in on $1 trillion by 2028.
And we helped.
Yay!
Right.
Yes, we did. Well, he helped by proxy.
Right.
Because he had the beer job. We've never had beer jobs. Actually, you know what? I delivered wine for 3 days, and I hated it so fucking much, I went right back to Food Lion.
Were you a wino over
No,
the job?
It was, man, that job sucked balls. That's the worst fucking
Dude,
job.
my unofficial drink of quarantine has been box wine. Boda, y'all.
Adult Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Box wine is the adult Kool-Aid.
Speaking of beverages, may I try some of your?
Please.
Yeah. Okay.
Please do.
Thank you.
No problem.
Johnny Drum.
Johnny Drum.
Okay, we're gonna give this a shot.
It's 50.5.
Okay.
Now I'm starting to gravitate towards, because I told Luke before you got here, Sean, I went over to Sean and Corin's Friday night, and they let me try their Elijah Craig 18-year. Mm-hmm. But it's 90 proof. They proof it down, so it just tastes like you chewing on wood water.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. No problem. It just has no discernible shit to it. Like, it's just nothing.
It's got more of an orange hue to it than yeah.
Yes, it does. It almost matches the wrap around the top. It's the good. I really, really like that. That's one of my top. That's a top 3 for me.
Who's your favorite scientist? Is it Copernicus?
Huh. That's solid.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the initial coat on it.
Yep. It's just the right amount of spice to sweet for me. I really enjoy
It's got a lingering on the palate, but I get like no afterburn in it at all. It goes down smoother than a West Charlotte hooker. I mean, that is like
my man. Yes.
Right.
And actually, this is not a Willet product. Actually, it's Bardstown.
Okay.
Yeah. It's,
all right. So,
I misspoke.
Okay, thank you for that, because I had like I had a conception of it, like, okay, Willet, here we go, pot distilling, it's going to taste like a chemical afterburn. All right, got it. But that's actually smooth.
Yeah, it's a Bardstown.
Okay.
Well, no, it says Willet Distillery Bardstown. God damn it.
Why not both?
Make up your mind.
It is. I saw Bardstown, Nelson County, but it's a Willet Distillery product.
It's Willtown.
But it's different. But it doesn't have that pot still taste.
And that's what I appreciate.
It's Bartlett. Yes. It's the Power Road right around the corner from here.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Bud Select 55 is named America's least favorite beer according to Beer Advocate ratings and Untapped.
To the surprise of no one.
Yeah, it's
right.
You need the. I'm sorry.
I can't drink 55.
Virginia ABC plans to implement new randomized method for purchasing highly sought after bourbon allocations.
Okay, so it goes back to that. So I have some friends of mine that do the lottery system in Virginia.
Come on, Danville.
Right.
I grew up in Greensboro.
Oh, Greensboro. You have to say it that way, right?
That's how my mom says it. It's like, and until my wife pointed out, like, it never clicked that my mom has been pronouncing Greensboro awful funny. Greensboro, like
Greensboro.
Well, Albemarle
it's been a long
close, and it's Albemarle. No, Albemarle. We're going to Albemarle. You're going where?
I've never heard that pronunciation before.
What
down there you will.
What the chervil is this, man?
Right?
It's in Richard Gere's ass.
Wow, that's a good reference. I haven't heard
problem.
that one in a while.
That's what I'm here for. We don't promise fresh references. We just promise good ones.
That was solid. I always called it all the marbles. Like
all the marbles.
All the marbles.
All of the marbles.
All of them.
It makes the way they do it makes sense. It's like they tell you we have this allocation, but we're not going to tell you where. Like it gives more people. But the only thing I don't know about Virginia, because you've been down here for a while though, right?
Yeah, I'm practically a resident now, like 18 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing I don't like about allocations here, I don't really like the ABC board in general, but The only good part about ABC is when you get allocation, you buy it at retail cost instead of it being jacked up the price. So I agree with that. But the shitty part is I went to the ABC store and I was out of Eagle Rare. I had like one swallow left. So they had Eagle Rare and then they had fucking another allocation of something they don't get that much. Mm-hmm. The problem is it's only one allocation per day. It's not even a bottle per day. You can't go in and buy an Eagle Rare and a Buffalo Trace because it's one allocation per customer per day. And I don't like that. I understand if you don't want somebody to go, oh, you have 20 Eagle Rares, I'll take fucking all of them.
Right.
That is stupid. Like, I understand that.
And that's all the same. And that's all the same distillery as Blanton's, isn't it? Because Blanton's is my wife's favorite. And I've only had it once at a bar in South Park.
No, you had it here. I brought it over for New Year's.
It's a horse with a name.
Yeah. All right. So all right then. It says it's how much I can't remember. All right. Then I've had olive twice from AJ having acquired one, and also for my birthday when we had first been dating back in 2016. That a bar near South Park had it. It was courtesy of Valing at the Palm. That one of the bartenders there also tended a bar at another spot by South Park. I was like, yeah, come on down. Like, it was $15 a pour. It's like, well, don't do this often.
For 1 ounce pour? Or just...
Yeah, it was...
It's not...
fuck nothing for the money. It's like, yeah, that's good, but I enjoy my 8-year Black Velvet just fine, thank you.
Blanton's is good. It's just not...
That's a sexy song.
It's a jacked up price point for the name, right? And all it is, it's a slightly different mash bill. And that's the thing with Buffalo Trace. It's like, they have 4 mash bills. That is it. And they have a fuck ton of products, but it's all based upon how it's aged and where it's aged within the warehouse. Like Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare, same damn mash bill. The only difference is Eagle Rare is aged 2 years longer. That's it. And so Blanton's, again, it's solid, but for the jacked up price point that you're getting for that, like which is now $70 for half of a fifth.
Yeah.
I think
I bought both of mine in right here in front of my house for like
like off the truck Blanton's. Is that what that is?
It was an ice cream truck. It was really weird.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They're right here. The ABC. It was like 50. It was at cause like $54, and at 54, it's worth. But please,
absolutely.
If you're listening to this, people, do not stand in line overnight
Please
for
don't.
a Blanton's. Don't. There's so many good options.
Nor for Apple products.
Like, go into your ABC. If you want a really solid fucking good bourbon and your budget's tight, go in and get a Wild Turkey 101 and go home and have your fucking self a blast. Right. Because that shit is so fucking good for $21.
There's so many more. There's so many mid-tier options that you can select from that isn't part of the Buffalo Trace heritage.
I was born on Thanksgiving, so I might as well get into Wild Turkey, huh?
Yeah, gobble, gobble, bitches. Right?
Yes.
He said drink up awful funny.
Yes. So a new study shows drinking wine can help bone density with age and keeping visceral fat off.
I have been doing it wrong then.
And I have been doing it right.
Spirits and beer makes it worse, evidently. But, I'm here for a good time, man, not a long time.
I tell my partner that all the time.
That's why they drink all the things.
Yes.
Right.
Proper number 12 is the fastest growing whiskey brand in America.
Hold on, proper number 12?
One that...
Conor McGregor's.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, no problem. And... Red Sox legend David Ortiz collaborates with Whistle Pig for a new whiskey, which is finished with toasted baseball bats.
Sure. Why not? Because, if there's ever a whiskey that's supposed to bring the wood, ha!
Hey-o.
These are the dad jokes, folks.
Well, this is an IKEA. This is particle board. I bring the particle board.
It's so flat. Anyway, so...
Yes.
Right. So...
Did you ever talk about my preferred whiskey when I lived in Raleigh?
No.
Fighting Cock.
Yes, I've never heard of it. Right.
And then came the day it fell out of the garage fridge. It's like, you broke my cock. How dare you?
Yeah,
people drink that. They think they're so cocky. Right?
You know what?
I'm okay. Called chicken cock.
Right, yeah.
I'm okay with toasted baseball bats.
Have at it, slugger.
Is it made in Louisville?
I don't know.
It better fucking be.
It should be. Well, if it's Whistle Pig, I think they're up in New England, right? Like they're.
Get back to you on that, Steve.
Yeah,
Steve.
We need a random fact check here.
I don't. I've never.
We have the technology. We don't use the technology, but we have the technology.
I'm gonna guess Vermont. I'm just gonna throw out a random New England state. And just
I've never had Whistle Pig.
you're really not. So it's a very high rye whiskey.
And it's expensive as fuck too.
Yes, it is. Well, especially
that's been the TST go-to.
Yeah.
And you can find it at Costco, like their 10-year for $80, which again, still, there's a lot better whiskeys I'm willing to spend $80 on.
I don't think I'll ever spend more than $100 on any rye whiskey ever because it's a rye whiskey.
It's a rye whiskey, and there are some good complex whiskeys at that price point. Like Angel's Envy Rye is one of my favorites, and that's right under $100. And that is a good sipper. Other than that, rye is used for mixing for me. Like I'll use it to make my Manhattans, Old Fashions, Vieux Yes.
Have you? Do you like Godfathers?
I am a Godfather, but I don't know if I've had the Godfathers. But
it is 2 parts bourbon, 1 part amaretto, ice.
I have not had this witchcraft.
It's my favorite drink. And actually, every time I'm in Vegas,
Vermont.
You got it.
Yay!
Nice. So,
points for Gryffindor.
Yeah. So I've been to Vegas 4 times in the last 2 years. So the second or third time, I was at the poker table and we took a break, and I was walking by and I hear, "Yo, with the hat." I turn around, and the bartender behind the bar at the sports book at Caesar's Palace, he's like waving me to come over. I'm like, this is going to be entertaining. So I walk over there. He's like, "You the one that been ordering on them Godfathers?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Bruh, I ain't made that drink in fucking 2 years, and I'd have made 4 in the last 2 hours." He's like, "I love that drink, man." I was like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that."
So it's 2 parts bourbon, 1 part amaretto?
That's how I make it.
Okay, so I'm just making
Some people make it 50-50, but I feel like that the amaretto kind of overpowers it because it's such a strong flavor.
Amaretto, you're going to like this almond
Sweetwater
milk stout.
almond milk
This.
stout.
How do you like that one? I haven't had that one yet.
Fucking good,
Nice.
man.
Yeah,
that's really good.
That's
And by the way, I have amaretto downstairs.
Oh, okay.
I have
we can really get fun.
We can make that drink easily.
Right. We could totally paint the town beige.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
The color of a hearing aid.
Yeah. What?
Rest in peace. Taylor Hawkins has passed away at the age of 50. We haven't done a show since he
it's
passed away.
it's been a busy month for us.
Yeah, normally we do this every 2 weeks, but it's been about a month because we've had plate parties.
Between plate parties and going out of town. And
you couldn't find anyone else to come sit in with you guys? I mean...
the timing wasn't good.
Timing was weird for everybody.
He's been trying a long time to get you on, and now I see why. So welcome to wherever you are.
Well, thank you.
One of our guests, Erin, when Erin was here, she's like, "I don't know what I'm doing here." I was like, "Guess what? We don't either."
You just bullshit for about an hour plus, right?
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
This has been going for 4 years now.
4 years.
Okay.
So this is episode 107. So.
You haven't been canceled yet. Congratulations.
Hey, man, when when you are the judge, jury, and executioner, can't nobody fucking cancel us.
I like to say we're dreadful.
Metallica's Kirk Hammett is releasing his first solo instrumental album, complete with wah.
Oh, good. So that can make up for all the instrumentals we missed out on St. Anger. So that works out well.
That's what it is. It's all B-side.
It can't all be anesthesia.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Call it a Cthulhu. Orion.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. That was like the worst album by them. I could not. All right, so for all those Metallica fans out there, I'm sorry. That's how I got into metal in the first place. Saint Anger is garbage. All right.
Saint Anger is not the worst Metallica album.
Okay. All right. So let's have a friendly debate. What is the worst?
Lulu.
Lulu.
With Lou Reed.
Oh God. That's a good archaic reference there. I don't think that they probably was stricken that from the records. They have no memory of that.
AJ has destroyed every piece of velvet in his house. He hates Lou Reed so much.
I'm not a Lou Reed fan.
Okay.
I don't really get it.
What did Lou Reed do to you? Did he touch you here?
I will show you the doll. I'll show you
the doll later.
I'll show you the doll later.
Right.
I just don't get
Sometimes this man did not want to be waited on.
I don't get Lou Reed. I don't get Daft Punk. I don't get it. I don't.
Ich weiß nicht. It's just not my
He speaks a little German, so.
Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch verstehen, but my German's awful.
Das wunderbar.
Danke. No, I spoke it 4 years in high school, and I've forgotten every bit of it until I went to Walk in Open Air. So then all of a sudden, that's when I picked up.
Massive metal festival, by the way.
Yeah, I know what Walk in.
Okay, so
I know what that is.
Those listeners that don't listen to metal, why are you on this show in the first place?
Exactly.
2, yes, Walk in Open Air.
I know
is
what that
Mecca.
is.
Yes, go.
And after my own heart, this last week, Soundgarden's Super Unknown was certified 6 times platinum.
Chris, miss you.
That was my first tattoo. Was the Bad Motorfinger emblem?
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that was my first tattoo. At 19, 19. I was 19.
I first saw Soundgarden. This is a sad state of affairs on my part. So this is before I really got back into a lot of concerts. I first saw Soundgarden 2 weeks before Chris Cornell killed himself.
God damn it.
Whoa.
Yes, and that was at Carolina Rebellion in 17.
I was cat sitting for AJ when I saw news about that. So I was sitting on his couch downstairs seeing this news, and he's the biggest Soundgarden fan I know. Like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was cat sitting. We were in St. Augustine for vacation or for anniversary. So we got married May 19th in 2013. Every year we go to a different city that neither of us have been to. Mm-hmm. So it kind of mixes up everything. So yeah, I was in St. Augustine and I woke up. I was like, hey, she's like, hey, by the way, she's like, I didn't want to wake you up and tell you, but I wanted to be the first one to tell you. And it didn't really hit me until we got back, and we were playing a show. I played a show the day after we got back and I was playing up in Cornelius, and I was playing a song, and I'm just like,
just lost it.
Yeah.
So that was a big year for me. It was the year I turned 40, and I was in a job that I absolutely hated. And we were having a cookout at the time, and Black Hole Sun came on. I was already knee deep in bourbon, and then started doing a little wacky tobacco on top of that. When that song came on, it was just like fucking like Niagara Falls down my face. It was, just I'll always remember where I was. Mm-hmm. Always. That was definitely lost talent right there.
Yeah, I have it's boxed up somewhere, but I went to the solo show in 07. I think it was 07 at Ovens, and I got a pick that was thrown out in the audience.
Ow.
Awesome.
And it's boxed. I don't even touch it or have it out or anything. So, from all accounts, I'm so happy that everybody, like all the interview, everybody was like, everybody that met the guy, that was like, he was the coolest fucking guy, like just to hang out with, like, and because one of my college roommates, he was friends with a guy who used to live in Seattle. And they were up there, and like they had Audioslave had a show, and he said they came, like him and Tom Morello came into the record store, and they were just like shopping. He was like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And he's like, "Man, I love this." They were just like jamming out the shit, and then like Tom jumped on Chris's back and like gave him a fucking piggyback really around.
Amazing.
Like that's the kind of stories you like to hear, and then you hear shit about like Uncle Krabby Grandpa fucking Aaron Lewis, who's giant sack of dicks.
God, I cannot stand it. Like, if there's anyone that can manage to suck the energy out of 100,000 person festival, it is him. It's like, oh, my parents abused me and hated me, but I'm going to sing about it and make millions of dollars.
Yeah, and then MAGA.
Records.
You're like,
yeah,
really, man? Like, this is a music festival. Maybe,
right, yeah.
Maybe tuck your Nugent in your pants and fucking play.
Exactly. Oh, you can shit a better president. All right, let's see you like on stage right now.
Yeah, let's
make
do
it happen.
Yeah,
right. Go fuck yourself.
All right, speaking of weird bands, Limp Bizkit releases a new song called Dad Vibes, and it's featuring Steel Panther.
Oh, my God. Like, why did he do that makeover?
I don't understand that at all.
Like, he looked like all the Beastie Boys from Sabotage combined.
That is a great description of that, actually.
Yes. Yes, if you looked at him, it's like, I don't understand.
Sabotage is still my favorite buddy cop film.
It is. Yes,
it is.
It's 4 or 5 minutes of pure pleasure.
Yep. Wes Borland deserves so much better than the band Limp Bizkit because he's such a great guitar
he's
player.
A fantastic guitarist. It's like wasted
I've
talent.
always loved his contacts.
They were great.
The blacked out eyes.
Yes.
It's like,
added to the ambience of Limp Bizkit. Like, gave it a little bit of an edge.
Paul Reed Smith actually custom built him a 4-string baritone guitar to use on some certain songs.
That's pretty badass.
Yes.
That's
bass
all. That's
is a
all I
fish.
play. So, by the way, I'm thinking Emily's going to kill me. I think I'm just going to buy myself a new guitar for myself every Christmas. Just save up music money, and then just.
I mean, it's your cash.
Yeah.
Why not?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It took her a long time to realize
I'm
that.
here to enable.
It's fine. But it's like, at least I have a hobby that makes me money.
Right.
It's my bourbon hobby. Nobody pays me to drink bourbon.
I mean, they could. And
they don't. Yes, they could.
They could write an honest review about your bourbon. Like, this tastes like brown swill. This is complex. This is like barrel bourbon's one of my favorite. I call it like the Dr. Pepper bourbon. So you get like 23 distinct flavors out of it.
Yes. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'd rather Baskin Robbins with 31.
Yes.
This one hits really hard to home because I have a pretty strong opinion because I love this group, and it makes me sad that they did this to him. Deftones and longtime bassist Sergio Vega have split.
I saw that news, and that broke my heart. Saw Deftones with Incubus in 2016.
Sweet.
And one of our friends actually had backstage passes. So I do have a picture. I'll show you later. Because, again, all the viewers on home can't see it. But I do have a picture of Sergio on my side looking like, why are you fucking taking a picture with me? This is weird. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was surprising.
Did you read?
I didn't read. I didn't read why they parted ways. Like, what's the 411 on that?
Sergio claims, and how much have you heard from him ever?
Hardly anything, right?
So all he had said, all he wanted was to feel like he was a member of the group, and
Jason Newsted 2.0,
and they never officially offered him, and they basically just kept increasing his pay when he would ask, "Hey, can you just make me a full-time?" And he said they never even really treated him like a full-time member when Chi Ching died.
Right.
He was just he was filling in, and they just kept, every time he would ask to be officially a full-time member, they would just keep increasing his pay. He's like, it wasn't about the money. It wanted to feel like I was a member of this group, and
like
I never
equal distribution, right?
Yeah. And so he just decided, I can't do this anymore, which kind of sucks.
It
man.
sucks, especially because he's a talented bass player.
She's not coming back. Mm-hmm. She is dead, and it sucks the way he died. He had a fucking
a car accident that led to a coma that led to death.
Yes,
right.
So it wasn't his fault. He wasn't they're all stoners.
Yes, they are,
but not they didn't drug themselves into this shit. Right. So
who did Deftones get to replace Sergio?
They have a touring guitarist now with them. So even Chino doesn't even play guitar that much anymore. Yeah. And then a touring bassist. I don't even know if they've even replaced. But I was like, who the hell would take that job?
Why are you not calling them like on speed dial? Because I know Chevelle rejected your application, so why not try Deftones?
Chevelle didn't even read my application. I don't even think they took it.
Well, I'll give you I'm actually going to go see Deftones in 2 weeks, so I'll give you a full review of that performance.
I saw them at Rebellion in 13 with Alice in Chains.
13. Wait, was it 13? Yes, because that was also the night of Alice in Chains.
It was Hailstorm.
Yes.
Papa Roach, which, by the way, not a big Papa Roach fan, but the show was great.
Yeah. He
always a good show.
Yes, absolutely. Jacoby always puts on a great performance.
He was crowd surfing, singing "Getting Away with Murder" the entire time.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that song. It's like on GT3.
Yeah, but
and it was getting away. It's like they had to edit that out because PG-rated racing game.
Yeah, the
radio edit.
I will say, "Scars" is unforgivably bad. I hate that fucking song because you don't listen to Papa Roach for getting into your feelings. So
no, it's supposed to be hyped up new metal-ish type music, right?
That's what killed Hoobastank, the reason.
Because Crawling in the Dark,
otherwise they were Incubus 2.0.
Crawling in the Dark was great, but then you Out of Control, and then you have the singer from Lost Prophets who's clearly in jail right now for something that's not really very Thomasy. That's an inside joke.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay, got you. No,
so won't be seeing him anymore.
No, guess probably not.
All right. Last but not least, Smashing Pumpkins have finished recording the sequel to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
It was already infinite.
I know.
You can't have what is this, Never-Ending Story Part 4?
Never-Ending Story.
This is the album that doesn't end. It goes on.
So are you all big Smashing Pumpkins fans, or like it's more just the nostalgia of the shit that they came out with?
Let me out.
And Siamese Dream, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like it's never been a go-to.
Siamese Dream
didn't strike the right chord with you. No.
Siamese Dream is brilliant.
Okay.
Melancholy, I really, really have to be in the mood to listen to, and it's so fucking long.
So the first album you mentioned,
Gish.
What are some tracks on there? Like anything that was on the radio?
I don't think.
Did that one have Let Me Out?
Let Me Out was
on Siamese Dream.
I think Let Me Out was on Siamese Dream.
Consulting the Google.
Yep. Let's say Gish. Okay. Gish was I'm One. Rhinoceros was on there. Bury Me. Mm-hmm. Those were the two I liked. It was 91. But as far as like my go-to, it's Siamese Dream is Daydream was on there. No, so yeah, it was on Melancholy. I haven't talked to you that much. My brother and I we give each other an album. So my brother's 20 years older than me.
Okay.
He gives me an album every Sunday to listen to.
Oh, cool.
And I give him an album to listen to.
That's cool. I like that.
We started last March in 2021. We didn't repeat artists until December.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm gonna try to pull it up here. Let's see. I think I still have it up. So here's the spreadsheet. So and every Wednesday we do singles. So here's the albums. So we started out. He gave me Zebra, self-titled. And I gave him Days of the News Yellow, which is one of my favorite albums.
Okay.
But then next up, he gave me Moody Blues. I gave him Devil Put Dinosaurs Here from Alice in Chains.
Oh, wow. God, that was an LP, right? That
Yeah.
wasn't like a full-on album.
The Moody Blues?
No,
Devil?
Devil, yeah.
Full album.
Full album?
13 songs.
Okay, got you. I'm thinking Fly.
But then, I gave him Super Unknown, and then he gave me Scorpions. He's given me a lot of...
Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane.
Yeah. So, but
Have you heard remixes of those?
No.
They were not good.
Really? But then he's given me Molly Hatchet, The Cars, REO Speedway, and I've given him Chevelle, Metallica, Jerry Cantrell's Degradation Trip, which is still a fucking banger. So he had this preconceived notion that grunge was all the same, and it was. And
Absolutely not.
Of course not, because he didn't listen to it. And
Right.
I was like, the big four of grunge, they could not be any different.
No, I mean Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains.
Yep.
And I would actually challenge Alice in Chains whether or not they actually belong in that category. Like they're like I get they come out of Seattle.
It's
so
more of a
almost
doom metal thing.
Yeah, right. I almost call them like hard rock. Like they're just
To me, Alice in Chains is more. If you're going to compare to old groups, I would say Alice in Chains is more Black Sabbath. Soundgarden was more Led Zeppelin.
yes. So that's actually a really good analogy.
Pearl
I like
Jam
that.
was more of like the Who and the Doors.
Yes.
That's how I get. And then Nirvana was more like the Beatles.
Beatles. Right.
Yeah. That's how I
Right.
view them.
I mean, because Alice in Chains had its own, like, I didn't get a lot of grunge out of them. Like, if you think about it, of the four, they were the only ones to tour with the thrash metal scene of the 90s with Anthrax,
And
Megadeth,
there was some
Slayer.
serious clashing in those days too.
Yes.
Those metalheads did not want these newcomers up on
No,
there.
no, but even Kerry King, when he's interviewed, and Kerry King is one of the lead guitarists for Slayer.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry.
Slayer!
Fucking Slayer! Obligatory yell. Sorry,
Yes.
have to do it.
Yes. Emily's probably downstairs like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Now?
Thanks, Brian Posehn.
Yes. So Kerry King, when he was interviewed about one of my, I'll get to that in a second. Kerry King, when he talked about that tour, he said when Alice in Chains got up there and played, like opened up for everybody, they said this is the future.
Yeah.
Like this is what's going to phase out thrash, and they did.
So they did that, but Soundgarden toured with Guns N' Roses during Bad Motorfinger.
Okay, yes.
They did.
Yes.
And Chris was interviewed. He's like, yeah, what was it like meeting Axl? He's like, yeah, that guy's intense, man.
Never would have guessed.
It was like, yeah, that's intense. That's
And
all
Older
the
Biff Tannen, actually.
That's all the news.
Nowadays, Axl Rose looks like Ma Fratelli.
That's all the news I have. So we actually got through the news under an hour today.
Oh,
so
that's solid.
there's always a tangent. You know?
Okay.
So
And what if it's not guitars at all, but we also lost Gilbert Gottfried?
we did lose Gilbert Gottfried. He has.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aflac.
Affleck.
Yeah, and they
But he
replaced
got
him
shit
with.
canned for that, right? He got.
It was the tsunami joke, and then they
the
hired
tsunami
somebody
joke.
else that had a gruff voice saying Aflac.
Yes. I still think Mark Norman is the best comedian you're not listening to right now.
It appears that having partaken in the Aristocrats movie is bad for your health.
Or not as bad as a Took, who killed every heavy-set comedian, male comedian who took it was an Eskimo movie comedy. It was called a Took. It was set in Alaska. The people who were booked for it were John Candy, Sam Kinison, Chris Farley, and then they decided not to make the movie.
Well,
okay.
no more fat comedians for this role.
Nope. No, Mark Norman is the best comedian you're not listening to. He is fan-fucking-tastic. Mark Norman, like Norman, but with a D at the end.
Okay.
Like having a gay son is like getting a French fry in your onion rings. I didn't ask for this, but hey, man, I like these too. And also, being straight and getting hit on by a gay guy is like receiving a shitload of money, but in the wrong currency. You're like, this is useless right now, but if I ever cross the border, I'm gonna be pretty lucky. A lot of quips. It's like a hokier version of Mitch Hedberg, and I kind of appreciate that. Anyway, so you have that bourbon. We've had this bourbon. And you brought that one.
I brought Bottled and Bond. Yep.
Is
Old Forester 1920. And feel free.
The 20s Bottled and Bond?
Yeah.
No shit, because my 1897's bottled and bottled. That's 115.
Bibs are
No,
good
it
stuff.
can't be. It's 115 proof. Bottled and Bond's only 100.
So it's a lie is what that is. It's probably not Bottled and Bond. So I probably got the
It is
Bottled and
not.
Bond.
Yeah, bottled and Bond is 100 proof.
Okay, that's
This
right.
says
that's right.
Bottled
That's
and James
fair. Sorry,
Bond.
it's Prohibition. Yep, sorry. I was
It's
mistaken.
115 proof.
Yeah. But still, you will enjoy that. If you have not had that,
I plan on enjoying it.
yes, please.
Did you
enjoy my brown liquid?
What else did you bring in?
I just that and that because I didn't know. I was not aware of your extensive bourbon and whiskey collection. So now if you invite me back next time, as soon as I don't bomb your podcast, I will.
I think it's
gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
We haven't had a guest yet where we're like, well, we're not having that person back.
Okay, gotcha. I'll bring some more rare stuff next time.
That sounds good.
Like Cream of Kentucky is one of my nice little surprises I found.
I've tried to kick myself off the show. He won't let me.
You're not going
to fire yourself yet.
You're not going. Well, we can't now because our faces
Oh
are
wow,
up there.
you're literally etched on the wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we did own location at Pour 64 here in Mint Hill, and the lovely the people there printed our faces, and everybody turned around and had our effigies.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And also, the Beer Cat Tavern sign was from Mr. Brian Layton because he was like, it seems more appropriate here. I was like, even though he has 3 more cats than I do, but.
I'm still surprised and acknowledge
okay.
your extensive beer plate collection from the saucer.
Steve has more than me.
Okay.
I'm now up to 16.
Yep, I have 11, so there's 10 up there. I think
I
With 20, you get a free trip to Alcohol Anonymous, if you believe in that.
No, it's called the Denver Great American Beer Festival.
I think my favorite.
And 10.
I think my favorite quotes were the green one and then the white. Or no, the green one.
Time travel. I like that. I fucked the girl in Hanson.
Yeah.
But they are so I was at a concert on Friday in Atlanta, and they had a poster on there for Hanson. This caught me off guard. 30 years of music. I didn't realize Hanson has been around for 30 fucking years. How is that even possible?
That means something pre-Umbop would have been a thing, and
Right.
the young one would have been an infant.
Right. Just a scene swimming in daddy's sack. They don't understand.
I have a great idea. Is you make pop covers of industrial music, but then you wear single leotards and have different colored contacts, and we do Marilyn Hanson.
That is a tens of dollars idea. I am all for it.
I'm about it.
Sign me up.
All right.
Where all stars are in the dope show.
Dope show. Dope show.
Well played.
This will be fun. We get to go through your car history.
Oh boy.
Only one guest we've had. We've had probably a dozen guests at this point. Has had more cars than both of us. So
All right. So this is going to be. I
so-
also have a couple years on you guys. So
but the rule is it doesn't necessarily have to be registered to you, but you were exclusively the driver for the vehicle.
On this.
So if you're
Thanks,
16,
Bob and Deb.
if you're 16 years old, it's not registered to you, but you are the sole driver.
Yes. Okay. And again, thank God they started changing security questions because this is going to be right.
That's true.
For those that are in InfoSec, again, change to multi-factor authentication. They no longer use security questions like this because you will get hacked.
Yes.
All right,
I get to make up passwords at work because whatever security algorithm is being very strict. So I just started asking, like, what's your favorite movie monster and your favorite car brand? And what'd you have for breakfast? Like, just completely off the wall stuff to make a string of words.
Right, exactly. So I don't use these now. Wink, wink. So first car. When I turned 16, my old man got me. He called it a company car, but it was for me. A '93 Nissan Pathfinder.
Very square body.
Very square, very black, very. It was everything I hoped for, and I ran that thing to the fucking ground.
As you should.
Yes, I had over 130,000 miles on it. Eventually traded that in. So
manual, automatic.
No, this is before I got into manuals.
Okay.
So I didn't get into manuals until
Because we need details here.
Okay, all right, automatic. I didn't
Because
get
we
into,
care.
Okay, yes,
They don't, but we do.
We care. All right,
we do.
So I didn't get the manuals until I was 21. Yes, I saw that. If I had known again that we were going to be talking more about the cars, I would have worn my real men drive a stick.
Yes.
I wore that T-shirt.
As they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah. So after the 93 Pathfinder, my first car that I actually bought on my own was a turd. It was a 99 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road package on it in forest green. Yes.
That's pretty color.
Yes, thank you. In an automatic. Don't judge. Again, this was before I discovered the advent of the third pedal.
Yes.
Which was 1 year later because I have car attention deficit disorder, and it's a real disease, folks. So
Steve was a taco owner, too.
Oh.
2 of them.
Nice.
A 97 and an 07.
Yes. You are a big taco guy.
Suck at fajitas.
Yeah, right, exactly. Back to the fajitas. Suck at the fajitas, right, exactly. Tacos rule. So after my taco run, after 1 year later, I did get the Jeep bug, and I owned a 2001 Jeep Wrangler Sport 6-speed. Yes, that was my first.
In 01?
In 01.
6-speed in that?
I didn't know they had was 6. I thought it was a 5-speed in 01.
Oh, wait, 5. You're right. Sorry.
Yep, 6-speed wasn't until 2005.
Thank you. I stand corrected. Thank you.
No problem.
5-speed.
You sit corrected.
Yes. Yes. Touche.
Sorry, what?
Yes. Slammed that one. So then after I realized that the Wrangler was not a great commuting vehicle for me at the time, so I ended up driving my ex-wife's hand-me-down, which was a Toyota Camry 2001 automatic. Didn't like it. Had it for a while. I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is my family car until I can get to a point where I can actually get something that's fun. And that was in 06 where I got a red Audi A4. That was a 6-speed. And that was a lot of fun. And at least that was a great car. It did have a couple mechanical issues with it. Like, for some reason, the headlights decided to, not work one day. Like, one of them, flickered, like it was winking at me. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Thereafter, then I upgraded, and I did an 08 BMW 330i at the time. Also 6-speed. Loved that car. I ended up buying that car after a lease. And so that was fun. Got it over 100,000 miles, and then realized that, okay, I need to get, again, I like new and shiny.
Wie sagt man Time Bomb auf Deutsch?
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
The Audi and the BMW is like lovely cars, but when they break, they're going to break everything.
Exactly. When they get to warranty, that's when you turn it in. So then after that, I ended up getting a Volkswagen CC.
Oh, wow.
Also, that's obscure.
That was very obscure. For some reason, I just like the slope on it. I thought it was cool.
So sorry, the Passat has too much headroom. Here, try this.
Yes,
but
exactly,
those are lovely.
Right. I felt like total fat guy little coat syndrome in that car, right? So that was not for me. And then that's why I also changed jobs. That was also a 6-speed. And I started commuting up to Mooresville for my job at the time. And when I started commuting up there, I ended up trading that in and getting I think it was a 15 Mazda 6 automatic. That was a poor decision. Like, that was just one of those things that was an impulse buy. I wanted to get out of the manual because I was tired of the Lake Norman traffic. And then so ended up getting that. Then after a year of that, and then I ended up getting a much better paying job, I went back to BMW and got a 340i 6-speed with a M suspension, M brakes, just all the M's in it.
The M package without being in the M car, so it doesn't also have the M repair bills.
Right, exactly. And again,
that enhanced engine, something we're unfamiliar with.
Right. So that was also a 6-speed. And I loved that car. That car that had an upgraded exhaust to it, and it just purred like a kitten. I loved it. But then when that lease turned in, now I have my current car, which is a 19. I went back to Audi, an Audi A4. But again, it's an automatic. And so it's fun, it's peppy, it's got some good horsepower and torque to it, especially for a 4-banger turbo. But I don't feel connected to the car.
Audi's been dead for a while stateside.
Yeah, right. It's a sharp looking car. It's just,
and you're selling it.
I am selling it, yes.
And I saw you're selling your and
Jana, my
and
partner,
Jana's car too. So what is the plan?
Okay, so Jana's we're getting a practical car. So for Jana's Mini, she has a Mini Countryman, and that was fun, but we needed something bigger. So we're gonna go Subaru Ascent. So we're
the 3-row.
The 3-row, yes, exactly. So we're going to put all the granola stickers on the back, all our rock and roll stuff on there, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Let's be honest why we're getting this.
Yeah.
No.
Well, look, I share a lot of things in common with lesbians.
Right.
I, too,
You like to go to the Y?
vagina. Yes, I love eating at the Y.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your joke there.
You know what the worst part about eating Asian pussy is? You're just hungry an hour later.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm like, no, don't say it. Don't say it. And there it is. Thank you. All right, good. This is that kind of podcast. I love it.
Yeah, I don't edit anything.
Yeah,
nothing gets edited.
That's
I
good.
edit the levels, and then I go, here's the intro and outro, the car, bar, guitar, and then it's like, there you go.
Done. So we're getting Jana a Subaru Ascent, and so that comes next week.
Cool.
And then I again, third time's a charm. I am going back to BMW, and I'm getting an M3.
Okay.
6-speed.
Nice.
Of course you should.
Yes. 3 pedals on the floor again.
Yes.
Because, again, I'm a control freak, and I don't like the car telling me what gear it's going to be in.
Yeah, same.
I get to tell it what gear it's going to be in.
How many cars have you had with 4 pedals?
4 pedals?
I've had one.
Okay. What's
Steve
the
knows what I'm talking.
Go ahead.
What if you have a pedal-mounted e-brake instead
at the bottom.
of something that you pull?
Yes,
instead of the head,
my God.
So
I have had one.
Okay.
A 1968 Dodge D100 pickup. 3-speed on the column.
Yes.
So rusty you could see the road going down the road.
Oh, yes.
That must have been rainy days. Interesting.
My
Are you
pops.
sure that wasn't like generated by the Flintstones?
No, my pops bought that car. He bought that truck.
That's when he lost half the cylinders.
Yeah. He bought it in December of '88. It for $800. It did not stop running until 2005.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we checked the compression out. 5 out of the 8 cylinders had 70 psi of compression, and the rest of them were like normal. I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep. I just kept driving it until it just stopped one day.
That's impressive.
I got more thumbs up in that thing,
as you should have.
And had an 8-track player. It's amazing.
For those viewers that are it's a little young to recognize that an 8-track was pre-cassette tape.
Yeah, it was even like you better like
that
the
sounded
whole
like
album.
the first flash drive I had in my car.
Yeah. So you've. I didn't expect the Volkswagen CC to come up in conversation.
That's amazing.
That was the curveball, right?
Yeah.
I know,
Or
like
the Mazda 6.
I know that the CC existed as a stick, but I have yet to see one.
Let's try the. We're gonna. CC had the old Forester 1920.
Yep.
We just killed.
No,
we killed
please,
the bottom.
that was what it's intended for being
Like,
gracious host and allowing me to talk.
Sure. Because upon working at the Vana, I've seen
good.
CCs, but never a stick. But I knew that's a thing.
It was a thing.
But it's a
It's hot.
rare thing.
It's hot, but it's good.
I thank you.
Yeah. So
Flattery will get you everywhere, AJ.
my new awful idea is have the Z in the garage. Okay. But I've had the Cherokee, and I love that Cherokee. Like that thing just was plucky, and it had a lot of character.
Did it have wood paneling on the side too?
No, it wasn't a Woody.
Okay, no Woody.
But I have found
Wasn't feeling that grand.
Yeah.
I have found a kit that converts this particular car to a stick. If you supply your own T56 Ford transmission for $2,000, you can stick swap it. Crown Vic.
What?
How cool would it be? Because that would be the perfect. Panther platform cars are indestructible.
Okay.
So that'd be my perfect music hauler and daily driver. But because it's a
And it would
4-speed automatic, which was horrible. But the stick actually wakes it up, and all the Mustang parts bolt up to it.
Right.
So that's my new awful idea: is daily drive a 5-speed swap.
Basically,
Crown
build your own
Victoria.
Marauder that was never
Yes.
sold
I
the
feel like
stick.
it's just like throwing money away, but at the same time, it's like if it brings you enjoyment, why not?
Hey man, I don't have children.
I mean, to the dink life.
Dink life.
Yes.
Dual income, no kids.
Yes.
Oh, you're still working on.
Yeah, it's like, well, hey, for what it's worth.
For right now, you're Dink life.
So that's
Right.
it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
We prevent that problem. One of my favorite games that Janet and I like to play is Down the Hatch, so that's why it just helps.
Love it.
Yes.
selling up mallards with colds.
So, my wife's a cancer survivor, so we can't have kids.
Okay.
But also, we didn't want any before then.
Yeah.
So, I got so tired. Like, people at work at my last store would just, when we got married, or like right after she got died, it was like, you guys been married for a while. Why don't y'all have kids? And they just kept pushing. I'm
That's
like,
such like the southern thing to push on you, though,
I know,
right?
Well, we can't. I was like, we can't have children. Like, she's a cancer survivor, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, well, how did you mean it? Like,
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, like, don't. I hate when you'll change your mind. I'm like, do you have children? They're like, yeah. I'm like, don't worry, you'll change your mind.
Right. Well, it's just sort of like
Then it's a little more permanent.
So again, not to get on an anti-religion rant over here, but like it's a
Hey,
sort of,
we're cut from the same cloth.
okay, yeah. But again, it's like the same thing when you move down south. It's like, okay, what church do you go to? I'm like the Church of Never. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The chicken joint.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. I go to the Church of Brunch. Brunch is what's for Sunday.
Yes.
You know? Yes.
I'm dudism.
I don't want to watch some dude just hanging around, like talking to me about like what sins I need to.
You know why the Jews honestly, you know why the Jews hated Jesus?
Why?
Because he was hung like this.
I heard. Yeah, love that joke. That's one of my favorites. You know what? Know what Jesus' favorite sport to do?
What's that?
CrossFit.
Nice.
Jesus walks into a hotel and gives the innkeeper 3 nails. Hey, could put me up for the night?
That's the old
Crow.
The Crow. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, I
with the most 90s Tastic soundtrack ever.
That was a great soundtrack.
It was a great.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Pantera did the cover of Planet Caravan on that.
Yeah, and Pantera actually did a SpongeBob episode too.
Shut the front door.
I never.
How do I not know this?
I've never liked any version of Planet Caravan though. I'm more Planet Voyager.
By the way, I heard the best trivia team name ever from Ian Shikutek, Chick-fil-A. It's like, why did I not think of that first?
There's something good that could come out of that name in the anyway. Good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was so sad I didn't think about that first.
You get another tens of dollar idea for down the road.
The Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's right. Copyright it now.
That place sucks.
Yep.
So I think since Luke is here and he is a concert connoisseur, he's a concertasaur.
Yeah.
We should talk about concerts. So Steve and I have had discussions about our first concerts.
Okay.
Again,
another security question. Go on.
We can I don't think about that one, but I'd like to go through our first because it's been a long time. So our first concert. My first concert. We'll just go alphabetically.
Okay.
I was 17 and
a couple years ago.
I don't even want to think about it. Was Seven Dust, Eve 6.
Oh, wow!
Trapped and Stained, but
wow!
Okay. The first two,
Wow, those later two.
It was Weenie Roast.
Really didn't age well.
Oh, really? 1065.
Weenie Roast 2003 was my first one.
Oh, wow! Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there.
I didn't stay for Trapped.
As you shouldn't have.
You're right, because I had to drive my girlfriend home because she went to the School of the Arts in Winston-Salem. And so I had, on a school night, me 17, because my parents are hippies. I got to do whatever I wanted because...
It was the youngest of 4. Well, still as youngest of 4. So the rules there are no rules.
There are no rules anymore. So I had to drive her from concert to Winston to back home. And then I got home at 2:30 in the morning and had to go to school at 7:30. But it didn't matter.
Right.
So that was my first concert.
That's
and
awesome.
Seven Dust and Eve 6 were great shows.
So this was in 2003. Was this Animosity came out from Seven Dust by then, right? So this is Praise,
right.
Praise, and Live Again, and Tits on a Boar, a couple other songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was
all the last of my Napster jams, I'm sure.
Yes.
And
or early LimeWire, something in that, but did get the CDs at the time.
Yes.
And I got dry grinded so hard at that concert that I had to pull over at a McDonald's on the way home and beat off in the parking not in the parking lot, in the bathroom.
You do you.
Relieve pressure.
Yep, exactly.
That was my first concert. But since we're going alphabetical, I guess Luke is next.
Oh God. Okay. So my first concert, this is gonna be so cliche. It was in 90. It was either 92 or 93. It was a year after the Black Album came out, and so it was the Wherever I May Roam tour by Metallica.
Nice.
Back when they did that funky stage configuration, like no longer like front and center. Everybody gets to roam wherever they are.
Yeah.
And this is actually before I even heard a song from Master of Puppets, by the way. So this is back in 92, 93.
I bought Master of Puppets unheard, just knew get 80s Metallica.
Right.
So the first one I bought was a CD for $15 on a youth group trip. It's like, so the stories were true. 80s Metallica rules.
Yes. I did And Justice for All was my my first one because when I heard the drum solo from one. Or the drum beat from one. I'm like, okay, yep, this is it. This is my gateway. And then when I heard Blackened, I felt dirty. This is back when I was still very religious, back in the day, and I was just like, this feels evil. This feels satanic. Like I don't know how I should process this. And then right after that, I'm like, okay, I think I can handle this. Let me just buy Ride the Lightning thereafter, and went with Fight Fire with Fire. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm all in at this point.
Yep. Don't you want to play for the winning team?
Yes. So, how about you, sir? Your first concert?
Yes. So maybe not so much concerts, but a buddy of mine was the drummer in Weekend Excursion, so got to see a lot of them. And then first like big arena show was Charlie Daniels at Verizon with REO.
That is amazing.
With REO Speedwagon Summer of '01.
That's amazing. That's
Which
great.
one of these is not like the other?
Yeah.
Wait, a little bit before that, no. Bloodhound Gang in 2000 at Tremont. That'd be
wow.
November.
Back when Tremont was a thing.
Yes. So it's like it would have been the early college era to see some stuff in there. So yeah, before that would have been that, where they called some people up to chug Dr. Peppers, and whoever peed their pants first on stage won a T-shirt. So it is just a complete undignified thing you would expect out of a Bloodhound Gang show. Yeah.
Yes, at the Tremont, 100%. Yes.
I've never been to I never went to Tremont.
Well,
You really don't-
now it's an apartment building.
Well, that's true.
Right, you would have to shower and bleach afterwards. It is grimy and gory and just
I've
Well,
played.
meanwhile,
I've
the
never
milestone
s-
still exists somehow.
What's that?
Meanwhile, the milestone still exists somehow.
I never saw a show at Amos's, but I've played a show at Amos's.
Oh, okay.
I have. We had a cancer benefit,
Okay.
and we were a band that got asked to play. And by the way, we were by far the heaviest fucking band. Like just a cover band show, but we played 10 songs. We played 5 covers, 5 originals.
Okay.
So, but we were by far the heaviest band to play that night.
So when you say heavy in terms of covers, can you give some examples?
Oh no! You're gonna laugh because we were the heaviest band, and it wasn't a heavy show because we chose like Machine Head from Bush.
Oh wow. Okay, so like
It was a grunge heavy.
like 90s alternative.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
We
grunge.
did. Well, we did. Dude, now we're talking like this was 15 years ago. So
Right.
I'm trying to remember the set list from that
Well,
night.
for what's
Now
worth-
I've played
well,
a
I mean,
thousand
well,
shows.
You
One
may
of
have
the
killed a couple brain cells drinking this lovely brown
It's
liquor.
the
Well,
weak
for what's worth,
brain
one
cells.
of the bands was trying to cover Spandau Ballet, so they didn't have a chance.
Well, the band. I know the band that played right before us. I like their name was No Week Notice. I like that name.
Sounds
can't
about my
remember.
restaurant job.
I know we played Machine Head. We closed with Shine from Collective Soul and then Killing in the Name of. Because
Okay.
it flows
That's
really
quite-
good. So we always close with that. I do miss playing full band, but I don't miss splitting the money 4 ways.
Right, of course.
So now I do
That's not the 4-way we like.
like solo 1/3 of the time, duo 2/3 of the time.
Okay.
So that amp doesn't leave the house, but boy, it sounds fucking good when I crank it. It's the same.
You have quite a bougie amp.
That's the same. So the amp that the Mark IV, that's what Pete plays from Chevelle.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's
So
not
it all goes back to your trio.
It's not satanic. It's Santana-ic.
So that thing. If I were to warm that up and play right now, you would go, "Yep, that's Wonder What's Next album."
Okay.
That's exactly what that tone sounds like.
Gotcha. All right. So honestly, I do enjoy heavy music, but if you tell me anything about equipment or instruments outside of guitar, bass, drum, and vocals, way outside my wheelhouse.
I'm a fucking gearhead. Like,
That's
I
clear.
have to be.
I remember when you and I ran into each other again at the Chevelle
3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace and Breaking Benjamin concert.
Uh-huh.
You told me how Chevelle simulates the dual guitar sound when it's just him up there rocking. I'm like, okay, gotcha. No idea about that. So yeah, you are clearly a gear aficionado.
I love
Some of those crazy like double neck guitars.
No, so Pete runs
It's
two
not,
amps.
it's not a Bumblefoot.
So-
It's not a Bumblefoot guitar like where he's got the dual
No.
heads.
Pete runs 2 amps, and so you split the signal, so you have your stereo field. So if you're recording or what have you, you want one guitar. You want the guitars to sound different in each ear, because if you don't, they just call it something they call big mono. So you have the 2 of the same sounds. It's going to just sound like mono, just louder. When you have a dark sound and a bright sound,
Infection.
You have dark sound, bright sound. You get a stereo field when you're listening in headphones or even at a concert where you're like one side's dark, one side's bright. You get a stereo field because the bass guitar occupies the low end in the middle. So you have that really heavy, gritty low end, and you got a dark guitar signal and a bright guitar signal, and it just makes it sound fucking huge. That's how they do that live. And Chevelle puts on a great live show.
They do.
I
thought so. I just saw them with Korn about a month ago in Greensboro. In Greenboro.
Home sweet home, y'all.
Right. That was just for you, Brian.
Brian?
Brian.
Steve?
Steve?
Whoever.
Yep. You lost me on that one.
Who's Brian?
Oh, sorry, Steve. Did I just say the wrong name? I saw Facebook Live. I'm like, you tagged someone by name Stevie Nicks. Never mind. That was on me.
Yeah,
that's on me.
We talked about Brian a lot because he gave me that, and then he has a super.
That's fair. All right,
that's Steve.
All right, Steve. All right, and who are you again?
Thompson.
Ace Jack.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Right. Sorry. My apologies. That was very bad form on my part.
I've been called worse.
No, but I saw Chevelle and Korn in Greensboro, and again, I felt like Chevelle upstaged Korn. Jonathan Davis just looked like he was there, just like I'm singing along, collecting my paycheck, la di da da da. But Chevelle definitely brought the house. Much more aggressive pit.
They always do.
Yes.
Every time I've seen Chevelle 4 times. Every time I will say, next time I want to see Chevelle indoors every time because the sound that heaviness and that punch in the chest you get from that low end is much better inside.
Agreed. I'd say the same thing about Deftones too. Like when they're at an outdoor festival venue, you lose the soundscapes, you lose the ambience, and so seeing them in an indoor venue,
I hate losing emergency vehicles.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, looking forward to seeing them again, Deftones again.
I've only seen Deftones outside, which is
it's okay.
Yeah, that was the same show in 16 with Incubus that I saw. So I went with the Jess and Feely experiment.
That was you should tell them about your German friend and go and see Mudvayne.
Back in 2009, saw Mudvayne with Nonpoint.
Yes, I was there.
And was there with a German student who complained the show wasn't heavy enough.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's fair feedback.
It was from
your crowd friend.
It was from Eric having told me about that, and Viking is the first time I'd heard about the Viking Open Air Festival.
Yeah, that is not surprising because when you go to a German festival, especially something like Wacken, where there's like 80 plus bands, most of them European, they definitely have that deathcore, just old school,
kind of a strong Norwegian presence.
Very, very much Swedish melodic death metal. It like sounds so pleasant. Like,
yeah,
I'd like some Swedish melodic death metal.
I did say Opeth back in the day, and that was the most mellow show ever. It was like a whole bunch of these, giant dudes in black shirts going to see this too. Like, it was way more chilled out than I expected it to be.
Put you to sleep. Yeah, and there's a doom metal band called Sleep, and they also put you to sleep. But Opeth agreed.
They're lovely. Yeah,
100%.
I'll play Damnation till the day I die. It's so good.
Okay, yeah, and I can agree. So going back to what's your German friend's name?
Eric.
Okay. So I would agree with Eric in that if you get exposed to that Norwegian black metal culture, that is like your epitome of hard and heavy metal. Nonpoint's solid. They put on a great show. I've seen them a gazillion times. But comparatively, no. Not to the European metal scene that's out there. And then also Mudvayne got softer in the later years. Of course, Chad Gray's vocals is also going in the later years.
The thing of the running gag of I like this older stuff better kind of applies to everything.
Yes, agreed. And then Chad Gray went into that sort of like what I would call the biker rock mentality when he started with Hell Yeah with Vinnie Paul.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was like, this is budget Pantera.
But this is totally budget. Dimebag, Vinny, love you guys, really do. But,
hey, Abbott!
Good cross reference there. But yeah, it turned into more bikerish metal. It's like, okay, I see what Zakk Wylde's doing with Black Label Society. How can I put my own spin on this?
Oddly enough, there's a funeral home right around the corner from here.
Well, this got really dark.
Well, there were a series of trikes out there with various flags, what have you. It was like,
Right.
So it appears there was some sort of biker funeral happening just across the street, right, AJ?
Yeah.
Godfather. Oh, thank you. I'm like, what?
Godfather.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, what are you putting in my mouth now?
That's what you.
That's just wait till the
said.
cameras aren't rolling.
Right, we're still live, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, good. All right.
Yeah, I made you a Godfather because Steve's had it before, and I didn't have enough clean
Do
glass.
you give all your guests a Godfather?
No,
Oh, I feel honored. Thank
you should be.
I will put out later.
Here's to honor.
Yes.
If you, well, I forgot the name of the toast. It was here's to honor. If I don't remember. Whatever.
If you have to cheat death, like that sort of like toast, or
I think Paramount Healthcare had the slogan "Cheat Death" briefly, and apparently that was too grim. I was like, that was fantastic.
My favorite toast
It was like,
was
here's to honor. If you can't get honor, get offer.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But being written out,
How is it?
GOOFFER.
So what bourbon did you use as the base?
Bullet.
Bullet with the name on it. See,
Yes,
with
with
the
non-point.
See, went back to the non-point. I will again, not going to be good for the viewers, but afterwards, I'll show you. I do have a picture of old Chad Gray, like in 2009 when I went to that.
You mean
that concert.
young Chad Gray?
Yes, exactly.
It's like, an old picture of young him.
Young him.
Or a new picture of old him.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
both, actually. I have him with Shannon Guns when we got off Shiprocked in New Orleans, and then I got the old one from right after that concert. We stayed for the meet and greet, and so I got a picture of him and that whacked out bass player.
Marianne Martini. By the way, who lives in Burlington, North Carolina.
Shut the front door.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Burlington, North Carolina.
That's right.
Burlington.
Alamance County, y'all.
It is good when you make it with a rye, but I wanted to make it with a Bullet's like a good mixer.
Okay. So I want your opinion on this because I've actually abstained from Bullet for years because of the controversy that happened with their daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. So I haven't gotten through the article all the way through, but I've been reading that it's like, again, two sides to every story sort of situation, that maybe there is some reconciliation happening with Bullet. But do you have an opinion of that? Have you read more into that, or? Are you? I'm asking because again, I'm like one of those guys that once I find out that someone's anti-gay, like that's it. They're like Chick-fil-A, like that.
Yeah.
I won't eat there ever again.
Right.
So that's why I've been like on the same rant on Bullet.
I read it and it was pretty fucked up, but I've had that bottle for years, and I just make it for mixers.
That's fair.
And so it's in the back. It's not even. It's behind
everything.
everything.
It's not a go-to purchase. It's more.
No, I've had it for a while, and I just make it for mixers.
So you giving me your sloppy seconds? That's been sitting here for a while.
Hey man,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
it's way more than seconds.
Right,
The fashion's
I am
old.
a cheap date, so this is fine. Yeah.
Throppy thirds.
Right. No, but I get the amaretto. It's very like I get the sweetness coming forward,
and that's a 2-to-1 ratio. So imagine a 1-to-1 would just be really sweet.
It makes my teeth hurt.
So that's why I do a 2-to-1, and especially that's why I use like if you use the rye and amaretto are almost competing flavors, whereas the bourbon you get sweetness from the bourbon,
right,
with the sweetness of the amaretto,
right.
But you just have to put more bourbon than amaretto. To me, like if you like sweet drinks, go nuts and do a 1-to-1. But like I want to taste both ingredients.
I'm more of a spirit forward guy. So if I'm making a cocktail, I think so. My cocktails are very much a cup of booze. So one of my go tos is a Vieux Carré. Have you guys heard of a Vieux Carré?
Quoi?
Yes. No, there's no Le Croix in it.
I'm waiting on them to sell a spiked version because now there's spiked Topo Chico and a spiked Spindrift.
Oh, okay.
and a spiked Bang Energy.
Does that come with a side of dignity?
Have you seen what the CEO of Bang
No
Energy
diggity.
looks like?
No. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Have you seen what the CEO of Bang Energy looks like?
No. Does he look like every Chad that's out there? Please
The-
tell me.
No,
No,
he
no.
is
The opposite.
Chad.
King.
He is the opposite of what you expect him to look like. He's just
Okay. Would it be easier if I walked around? Or, no,
I can.
okay.
As soon as it pops up, I'll show you. He looks like if you touched him, he would be sticky.
Does he look like he wants to fight in a UFC match, but he really can't? Oh,
bargain basement pill gates.
The hair is what is just just at that point, just shave it off. Just don't even bother.
And the gold chain and like the Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer video shirt.
That's amazing analogy.
Like,
that is
wait,
great.
he looks like a lunch lady.
Yes.
I wonder if he's familiar with Lunch Lady Land.
The Adam Sandler song.
Lunch Lady Land.
Oh, I have not heard that one.
The
only one I remember is Medium Pace.
Yeah.
What about Piece of Shit Car?
No, I have not.
Oh, dude, that was something that got improved with the radio edit because it was all car horns.
Yeah. So we actually did show since you've been to way more concerts than we have. I've played more though.
Oh, that's fair.
We did a show.
I've sang more karaoke than you though.
Oh,
You have.
I have the enthusiasm of a front man. I have no vocal range whatsoever. It's flat.
Well, you know, I sing like an amputee. To quote the Bloodhound Gang,
Yeah.
can't hold a note, can't carry a tune. Dude, Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses is my go-to.
There's a funny story behind like I don't really love singing karaoke, but there was at Fox and Hound one night. Toby and I were there, and this same guy kept going up and singing, and everything he sang had a downward inflection. So
Okay.
he sang My Hero, and he'd go, "There goes my hero, watch him as he goes."
Oh, God.
And like, so I went. I'm like,
depressed.
I'm putting this to a stop. So I was like, I want to do My Hero by Foo Fighters. He goes, yeah, that guy just did. I'm like, I know.
No.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And so I did it.
Yep.
And he didn't sign up anymore.
good.
But how did nobody tell? Like, I understand singing might be your passion, but did none of your friends tell you, hey man,
Can't hold a fucking note.
like, dude, no, please don't fucking do this.
Right, please. Like we're all here, wait, like this, ready to go, like with the knife on the wrist, like,
Down the road, not across the street.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I'm sure I've told you about someone who's very enthusiastic about karaoke, but not good
Jill.
at it.
I tried to lig patent my way out of that.
Uh-huh.
I was like, did nobody tell them? And then another night at Fox and Hound, it was a tiny little Asian woman, because Asians love fucking karaoke. And she was doing From This Moment On. It's like, from this moment, I bada boo, I promise you this.
That's adorable.
From this moment
That's
on.
amazing.
Yeah.
I would watch that live.
And it was great, because she was like into it. She was like, from this moment on.
Did you ever make it to Jackalope Jacks?
Yes, that was
Back-
a regrettable night.
That was an incredibly fun series of Thursdays. Back in the day, my schedule was 8 to 4 Monday through Thursday and 2 to 10 Friday, which meant the weekend started early.
Oh, yes, it
so
did.
it was Thursday night karaoke going ape shit.
Oh, God.
So we'd get there at 10, like close the bar down. That was so much fun. Like one of the regulars there, his cardiacs surely must have sneezed, because bless it, was this old dude that couldn't sing anything. But it's just, this old man, he's gonna make Neil Young sound good.
Is that possible?
Yeah, if he's in CSNY, yes.
Right.
But other than that, no. I enjoed the Crosby,
as a
Stills.
corpse.
I enjoyed the album he gave.
Oh,
me,
not
Crosby, Stills
CSI.
and Nash, but no, wrong way. Go ahead. There is no structure to this.
I know.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
like,
really,
wait.
because I'm so eager to interject. Like, I have an opinion and we'll be heard.
All right.
Please do.
Interject, because meanwhile, like, all right, so Neil Young and Joni Mitchell left Spotify. Cool. Stuff I'm not listening to anyway.
Right, exactly.
I
Come on.
only have that ticked up on my last FM as a novelty. Like, this isn't music I enjoy anyway.
I did appreciate Neil Young for what it was like. What is it? Keep on rocking in the free world. Like when he got up. So this is the only real collaboration I liked with Pearl Jam at the MTV Music Awards.
Yep.
This is back in '93 or '94. When after Pearl Jam sang something from, I think it was from not 10, but I think it was
Versus.
They sang something from Versus. That was on the heavier side, right? But then after that, when Neil Young came out and he did Rockin' in the Free World with Eddie Vedder, that was fucking brilliant. That was just, I would call old grunge and new grunge, like combining forces.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Have you ever heard the band Local H?
Yeah.
Yes,
Just
yes.
don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, their one radio hit
Yes.
is so different than everything else they've done. And one of their songs of that same album, As Good as Dead, is Eddie Vedder. That goes, if I was Eddie Vedder, would you like me any better? It's like, so every time Eddie Vedder pops up, like, boom.
Eddie Vedder, we can actually credit to Yarling. Like that sort of like
He was first.
He was the original, and then so I do follow a lot of metal.
I can't even say the words yellow lead batter without even attempting to sing along with the song. And it doesn't matter because it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I can't pass the Butterman. Like that. Right.
I can't believe it's not Butterman. Can't believe it's not Butterman.
So I watch a lot of metal anthology stuff.
Yes.
So Metal Evolution, for those that are huge metalheads, I highly encourage you to watch that series. And they did a whole series on the grunge scene. And so when they talked about when grunge started falling off and they had to start finding the new vocals that sort of emulated the grunge, they started with like, who can yarl? Like Eddie Vedder was like the staple of like, we need more yarlers. And so that's where they got to lead singer of Creed, Scott
Stapp.
Stapp. Like that's where like the foundations of Creed came
I
in.
almost told my Volvo listening to One, so there is that. It was weird times back in high school.
Creed has some good shit, but like I prefer Alter Bridge because Miles Kennedy is the only singer I would let front Soundgarden right now. That's the only person I think could do it justice.
Okay, so I have this. I twitch with Miles Kennedy because there's this annoyance to his voice that.
Wait,
just
you play
makes
video
me-
games with him online?
It just like I want to stab my ear hole when I hear him, and but to your credit, I can see him filling that role,
but it's very bright. His voice is very bright, and Chris had a much. So Miles has.
It's called range.
Chris has the bigger, lower to high range, and then Miles's natural voice is higher up in the range.
Right.
So, but that would be the only person I could see doing a Soundgarden cover that could do it justice.
I can see that.
By the way, this is an unpopular opinion, and I'd love to hear your opinion about this.
Go for it. All right, yes.
I do not like the cover of Hurt from Johnny Cage. God damn it, Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Johnny Cash. Sorry, Steve.
Worst Mortal Kombat character ever.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Fatality.
Right, yeah. Hearing that song's fatal.
We're this close to this beloved map of yours. Getting drunker than we are.
Yeah. So I don't like the cover of Hurt. I don't.
It's a sad country song. I mean, to me, it's like it's okay. I mean, I can see. I appreciate Cash taking a stab at that, right?
Good.
You know, and trying to still be relevant with the times. All right, so for those at home, we're drinking a can of disappointment right now. Right, yeah, right.
It's an empty can of Heineken 00, and for being such a thing,
it's better than Bud Select 55.
Again, we have nowhere to go but up. Like,
That's true.
Again, you're starting at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And then with that,
I'm
with
not-
the Heineken 00.
I'm not even a Kanye fan.
We started at the bottom, guys. We started at the bottom, guys, and now we're one step above the bottom.
That's right.
I think it's going to be Spinal Tap. We're starting from the big bottom.
But Oz go to 11.
Soundgarden did a cover of Big Bottom, and it's amazing.
They probably just took that song and just really made it fucking good.
It's so funny to hear Chris Cornell sing "My Baby Fits Me Like a Flesh Tuxedo." I'm gonna sink her with my pink torpedo.
It's so out of his wheelhouse, though. It's not dark enough for him, right?
Oh, have you ever heard "Exit Stonehenge" by them?
No, I have not.
Jesus, I can't feel my penis. Exit Stonehenge. That's the entire words.
The 80s Soundgarden.
Yeah,
is-
80s Soundgarden gets.
I've not heard that.
You've not taken enough psychedelics to appreciate this stuff, man.
Yes.
Right? No,
Their commercial success for the 90s is.
It can be weird.
Do I need to be on psychedelics to appreciate it?
Yeah, or more
My
bourbon.
favorite riff of all time is on 80s Soundgarden. It's "Loud Love."
No, you're out of my wheelhouse now.
Dude, well, I bought A-sides. And
Was it on there?
that,
Yes.
yeah. It was like the
A-sides
obscure
had some
stuff that never like made it to radio, at least not in my semi-sheltered existence.
Yeah.
So that That was a standout track from the early stuff.
By the way, after pod, we usually eat something at a restaurant. So if you're into that sort of thing,
I mean, I could be down for some grub.
it's like either Mexican or wings, and there's usually no in between.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Dealer's choice. I'm just
I
here for the ride.
could do some
okay.
semblance of it, but I do need to be at the in-laws at 6.
Okay. Well, it's only 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
and I have to
exactly.
watch the Brian's kitty. They're in Florida for his dad's birthday party. Or retirement party. So I'm watching their kitties. So I have to watch my 3 kitties. And
Watching
there's
a lot
6
of
kitties.
pussy right now.
I'm
That's
covered in pussy.
really
I
funny.
know,
That's
right.
really funny considering that the Laytons live in the same neighborhood as my in-laws.
Yes, they do.
They're walking distance from each other.
I have eaten more pussy than cervical cancer.
That's mazel tov to that, man. Like, seriously, do you ever pick up stray pussy?
I used to. I can't now.
I mean, you could. You just ask for consent.
man.
I'm just saying, you can. You just have to have a dialogue.
Luke, since January, my patio has had 3.
3 stray pussies just like show up like out of nowhere.
and one of which have been pregnant, and we can't find evidence of the kittens anywhere because at one point the black and white cat was looking very rotund, and apparently the official phrase is pinking when the milk glands are pointing out.
And the brain.
And
Pinking and the brain.
Can't find the baby kittens anywhere.
Oh, I hope the mother did. I hope they didn't die and the mother ate them because that's what happens if.
do cats do that? All right, so that's newsflash.
This is from said cat.
I don't see anything.
I just see 3 fingers. From that angle. Now I see a whole 5.
Yeah,
3 fingers would be a
just
bit.
the scratches. It looked a lot worse a few days ago. That like we've managed to roughly make friends with said cat, and then she's still prone to attacking. So there's that. I was like, well, I just got scratched by a stray. I'm gonna dry my hand in Neosporin now, and so far feel no worse from it than the usual.
Did you get a slight headache or a rise in temperature? Like, did you get some cat scratch fever after that?
No, Nuge.
Pantera's cover is great.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yes, it is.
But it's so weird to hear Phil and Selma go, well, I made a pussy poo and stroking my head.
That's so... What are your thoughts on Down? Does it give you Down syndrome afterwards, or do you like, is that too soon?
No.
No.
Just not good.
It's tattoo parlor metal is what I call it. Yeah.
What do Sarah Palin and Iron Man have in common?
Please tell me.
They both had a Downey Jr. inside of them.
This makes me so happy. I love it.
So going back to concerts. So
yes, concerts. Okay.
Huh?
All right,
well,
concerts.
Steve and I had a discussion a long time ago.
Okay.
And I already told you. I told you my pick, and it was concerts that you, or not even concerts. So it was a festival. Mm-hmm. So it was artists you were like, I'm not super excited to see this artist, and then you saw the show and you went, fuck, that was a good show.
Okay.
To me, that was Papa Roach.
Okay.
So it was shows that you were like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then you were really surprised at how good the show was. So I can't remember what yours was. Mine was Papa Roach. So if he's got his answer, you can think of yours.
And, all right.
Mine's going to sound embarrassing, but
go for it.
Go right ahead. Or not. The 2001 Weenie Roast. 4 days after 9/11. So this was September 15th.
So we're going
2011. And we saw an airplane flying above us, and
Lord,
we'd never seen one of these before.
Right. It's all new technology.
They can do that now. They're allowed to.
It's allowed.
Yeah. And
so traveling post pandemic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
See, also my hesitations having gone to Arizona this past week and had a blast, and the flights were completely okay too because satellite internet. So I got to see the new Matrix and the new James Bond.
Which one was better?
Bond. More on that later.
I'm still on pins and needles to see where this Weenie Roast is going.
Yeah. The one I was really excited to see was Crystal Method. But the standout band that became quite lampooned later on was Nickelback. But this was pre
was like Silver Side
everything that so like and prior to that the State because this is before they became the shit show that they're known to be. They were incredibly positive. Like I said, this is going to be embarrassing to have this answer, but
look, man, Papa Roach and Nickelback to me, it's the same general area.
Nickelback's lyrics are just pure fucking trash. I cannot is just garbage hooks.
And it was before Animals that
Right.
Colin had as his ringtone.
Oh Lord!
And
every time his phone erupted, it was an assault on my ear holes.
as it should be. When I watched that metal anthology that talked about grunge, and they featured Nickelback as part of the post-grunge
It is
era.
post-grunge.
It is post-grunge, right? To hear Jerry Cantrell get up there and swear by Nickelback. Have you ever gone to a Nickelback song concert?
dear.
Like, they're so fucking heavy. I'm like,
That's
did they
an
pay you?
That's an embarrassment on Cantrell's part. Wow.
What dirty secret do they have on you, Jerry? I'll fall on the sword to get you out of this arrangement that you have with them.
Jerry's a Gibson endorsee.
God damn it.
Sounds like he packed his bags for a degradation trip.
That's such a great album. Bargain Basement Howard Hughes is one of the heaviest fucking songs. I love that. Love that riff so fucking much.
So Nickelback was your
Surprisingly
pleasant
good.
surprise.
This is 01 though.
This
01,
is before,
okay.
So this is the timing's everything here because it wasn't until 02 that everything got real overplayed and real shitty.
Real processed, real pop 40, okay, we need to make a hit. Grunge is dead. Like 90s teen pop is taking over. Boy bands are taking over. What do we have that's nostalgic that can bring people in, but also make it its own? I know, Creed and Nickelback.
And this is also about the time that I got super into KMFDM that I've seen twice. And upon having seen KMFDM back in 03, I got to meet Sasha.
Oh, Sasha.
Kill
and ask him,
motherfucking Depeche Mode.
Kan ik ihre mohawk berühren? He said, yeah.
Nice.
So I got to touch his mohawk.
That's awesome.
It's like
Is that like touching the monkey? Like, would you like to touch my monkey?
Ja, das ist wunderbar.
Yeah.
You can't have
That's
it
how
made
much practice we dance.
What was your surprise?
So, back when DirecTV had its own like airplay radio stations, I used to like have the metal stuff in the background. I all of a sudden saw up on the screen a cover of Master of Puppets by Trivium. And
like the Flies, I loved on the Smokin' Aces soundtrack.
So I the moment I heard that, I'm like, this is fucking blasphemy. This is bullshit. This is no way. This is absolutely no way this should be allowed. This is like I was fuming, right? Fast forward probably a year or so later, I went to the, I'm not proud of this moment, the American Capitalist Tour with Five Finger Fruit Punch. And
I've never heard it called that.
Five flavored fruit punch, right? Exactly,
amazing.
right? Yes, I'll get to them in a second. But so they were the headliner along with Kill Switch and Gage. But some of the
How does that work?
right?
It's
Watch
more
Kill
like
Bill.
this.
Watch Kill Bill. and
It'd be five knuckle,
Right.
But five finger. That's gonna hurt.
Yes. So
Go slowly.
the headliners were Kill Switch and Five Finger Death Punch. And Kill Switch is another one of those bands. When I saw them live, huge disappointment.
Oh,
I was impressed with them, but I saw them with Howard.
Oh, okay. Yes. I mean that there's a difference there.
in a basement.
Okay.
Yes.
So
okay.
we'll discuss after.
Yeah. Another tangent.
Okay.
So the band preceding that. So there was like Napalm Death came on first. I'm like, all right, y'all are garbage. And I just saw them Friday, and they're just as bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then it was I think Pop Evil right after that. Whoever has the Chevelle like in the front, I think it's Pop Evil.
Yeah.
But then Trivium came on, and they blew me fucking away. I took back everything I said about. All right, so I get it. You covered Master of Puppets, cool, good on you. But when I heard In Waves, and I heard Pull Harder on the Strings of Your Martyr, and I was just like, oh my God, where the fuck did this come from? I'm like, so I've been a huge Trivium fan since then. Later stuff, not so much. It's gotten progressively Tail of the Dragon, like their latest album, not a huge fan of that. Preceding that,
Highway 129.
right.
Nice.
Catastrophist, though, great album. Like that whole album that came out like in 2020, one of my favorites. But yeah, Trivium was one of those bands that when I saw live, I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm all in on them.
Cool. Can I make Catastrophist my job title?
You could actually.
I haven't listened. I haven't listened to that much Trivium actually. Like,
okay.
Only just like the really, really big hits. I haven't like delved into
in waves.
Yeah.
Like obviously.
Yeah.
Capsizing. So one of my favorite questions, is the transition song leading to the main song. So one of my favorites is listening to Capsizing the Sea, which is the preceding song going into In Waves, because it sets it up brilliantly. Do you have, so this is a question for you two, do you have a lead-in song that transitions well into the next song? Like it's like one of those, I'm trying to think, what's the money, it's a song from Pink Floyd. There's a transition song right before that.
And it's on Dark Side, right?
Yeah, I think so. So it's on... so it's Young Lust, but there's a song preceding that.
I call my brother.
All right, so hold on. I got to consult.
I know the sound effect that we're thinking of, and brain damage, maybe.
Hold on, I'm now consulting Google here. Talks amongst yourselves. A chickpea is neither a chick nor a pea. Discuss.
Rhode Island. Neither road nor island. Discuss.
Dude, it's a lot of islands. I've been there.
Neither egg nor plant.
And I will be returning to Rhode Island sometime this year.
Like a masochist in Newport. We're Rhode Island bound.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Rhode Island and my family in Rhode Island.
I have an idea that Brian is on board with. And you all should be too. Okay. Per capita, the best craft brewery town in the United States is Portland, Maine. So I feel like we should just rent a chalet or something in the summer when it's like 75 degrees in Maine.
Yeah,
and just hang out and go to all the microbreweries in Portland, Maine, and just drink and cook and grill out. And
because
I'm there. I'm not a microbrewery fan, but like at least being in New England, especially like during the summertime, it's gonna be cooler.
Like you met Barb, my mother-in-law's friend,
yes.
who lives in Maine, and she's awesome.
She's a maniac on the floor, and she's dancing. Hey Tubbo, does it smell like mud? That was Black. No, that was Tommy Boy.
That was Tommy Boy.
That was Tommy Boy.
Yeah, that was cow tipping.
That's right.
That was just on the other day.
Did you eat paint chips when you were a kid?
Why?
Hey, there's plenty of room in there for beer,
soda and your yogurt. Lola.
I'm your father.
One of my favorite comedies of all time.
Oh, dear God, we're buried alive!
So what I was thinking in terms of like the transition songs to Young Lust was Empty Spaces. So Empty Spaces going into Young Lust from Pink Floyd. Like that's like one of those good, like you hear Empty Spaces and then all of a sudden it just transitions into Young Lust. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite like back-to-back transition songs. So like if you had to think about that, and again I'm putting you all on
transition
the spot.
songs.
Yeah, transition songs. One song leading into another.
I haven't listened to like albums back to back. I just leave everything on random.
No, I haven't.
Like, it'll be a lot of Spotify or
like
Apple Audio Radio. Just like pick band, play radio based on this. Discover some cool stuff along the way. Man. I'm gonna have a really hard time trying to pick any of this.
Good question.
I like the Pink Floyd option, especially off Dark Side, but anything else.
Future podcast question.
That's a good question because I've listened to a lot of albums back to back, and now that I have the technology, still
we have the technology. Now you have to go through your albums.
I kind of have to. I don't know the intro to Open Doors Until You See a Toilet. It's not the first one; it's the second one. I don't know. Like I think the intro to Downward Spiral is pretty good, just because of being beaten.
Mr. Self-Destruct.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, that song scared me the first time I heard it at 14.
It sucks getting old, doesn't it? I don't know, man. Queens of the Stone, the Songs for the Dead, the opening into that's a good one.
Or towards Dording.
Yes. There's so many good ones. Like, that's a good question, actually. I told you like him. He's a metalhead, too. Mudvayne going into Dig. That was a good one. Sorry, guys. Man, we've done a lot of this. So last week was
the magic of this going for.
He gave me Van Halen 1.
Nice.
And I gave him Foo Fighters, There's Nothing Left to Lose. I haven't seen you in a while. So, yeah, I gave him Pearl Jam Versus last week, and he gave me Sammy Hagar's 3 Lock Bucks.
We've not done this since March, so there is that.
I gave him Green Day Insomniac, and he gave me Carole King's Tapestry, and it's awesome.
Cool.
Tapestry is awesome.
Because Wall Rug is for suckers.
Well, also, Carole King has there was a lot of good songs, like a lot of songs I didn't realize were her. It's too late, it's too late. That You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, that was on there. By the way, hot take, I like Insomniac better than Dookie.
Processing that. Insomniac better than Dookie. Oh, okay. So we're talking about Green Day.
Green Day.
Okay, thank you. All right. So it took me a minute. So,
Otherwise, I'd rather not sleep than take a dump. What? Without context, holy kittens, there's...
But you lean more towards punk, right?
Yes.
So that was question more geared towards him. Okay. All right. I'm probably going to abstain from this because again, Green Day is not really part of my repertoire of music. So
Okay.
I'm not really in the punk scene.
I was always more Offspringy, but the more time that passes, the more I'm feeling more Green Day.
Do you have to keep them separated? Like, how do you like? Yeah, these are the dad jokes, folks. Thank you.
We love that. Do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke?
When it becomes apparent.
Fuck yes.
Meanwhile, this is also upsetting my bladder. I'll see you in a moment.
Why don't orphans play baseball?
Why?
They don't know where home is.
Do you know how much it costs to build a chimney? Nothing. It's on the house.
Love it.
Yes. I've officially driven one of the hosts out of the room.
So, a moth. Sorry, guys. A moth.
We're on a tangent now.
A moth walks into a podiatrist's office. Mm-hmm. And the podiatrist goes, "Hey, Mr. Moth, how can I help you?" He goes, "Doc, I'm at my wit's end. My wife left me. My kids hate me. I lost my job. I've gambled away all of our life savings. I have nothing to live for, and every day I stare at a gun. And I'm thinking about ending it all." And the podiatrist goes, "Mr. Moth, that's horrible. I want to help you, but I'm a foot doctor. Why did you come in?" And the moth said, "The light was on."
That was solid. That was solid. That was really good. Yeah, there was a lot of good build up and lead up to that, right?
You could thank Norm Macdonald for that one.
That was
that's a Norm Macdonald joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, another one. We're losing too many comedians.
I know. Comedy is my second love after music. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge George Carlin fan.
Okay. Yeah, I caught that in the earlier reference, so I'm sure like you studied.
I just love George Carlin's comedy because he was more of a philosopher who was really funny. Mm-hmm. That's what I love. By the way, Godfather, pretty fucking good.
That's solid.
It's an easy drink, even if they fuck it up.
Right. So if you, again, shameless plug, if you want to have me back in more of the podcast and hear me more rambling about mindless things,
please.
Okay, got you. I will bring my bar and I will make cocktails. So I will. So one of my favorite cocktails is a very spirit-forward cocktail, Vieux Carré. Which is a classic New Orleans cocktail. It's a very rye. It's a equal parts rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, cognac, but then splash of Benedictine, Angostura bitters, and Peychaud bitters, served over a thea of ice.
Nice.
You got to get an ice ball.
Yeah,
got to Lance Armstrong it, only one, and then after that, a little bit of
or Tom Green,
or Tom. Yeah, nice. So everyone forgets about Tom Green, and rightfully so. So. I have opinions, and they will be heard. So
yes.
Garnished with a lemon peel,
I'm okay with all this.
Yes. So next time again, we are able to arrange schedules. I will bring my bar, and I will make cocktails for the group.
Please
very happy
do.
to. Yes,
please do.
Absolutely. Again, 2020, 2021 was a very hard time for folks when the bar scene was closed down. Sorry, Charlotte. That's all you have. So. keep Charlotte boring. That's all they have.
By the way, trust me, I understand because during the thick of it, I had no shit. Like nothing was open. I couldn't play, and so I just had to
Couldn't
work.
play with yourself?
No, I still did that.
Okay.
Married for a long time.
Oh yeah,
but
that's fair. There's
but-
only so much porn, right?
That Billy Idol
exactly.
moment.
Why do they make new porn?
There needs to be more new porn.
What, I mean,
It's the same thing. It's like cum shot credits. Like there needs to be more variety in our porn.
The Germans ruined it.
I would say that. Like the moment the German Dutch porn bukkake became a thing, like that is it. It's all downhill from there. You know, I took my partner to a party once. Everybody came.
love it.
Yes, you should.
It
You
was
should have seen her.
kabuki.
Yes.
It was kabuki.
Oh, it was a Japanese
That's
bukkake.
right. You should have seen her face. Anyway,
Did the sign say hot and fresh because everything was glazed?
that was good. I'm going to add that. That's
So-
good. That
hey,
was
man.
good. I like that.
Yeah.
Pete Holmes always says, keep it crispy.
There's man, I love jokes. I can tell a joke. I just can't write one.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like,
I can make a few up, but can't remember what the hell I made up. I did have a good G-rated one the other day. While making my London broil the other day. When life hands you lemons, make marinade.
I like the.
It was 3 pounds of London broil, and it turned out incredible. So that was last night's dinner.
Nice.
Mine was my stand-up jokes were. I had written them down, and I was like, "Don't you hate when you say I don't like this food? You haven't had it my way. Like,
right.
come on, like,
Right. Oh, all right, Sinatra.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
I don't
all
like
right,
what-
if he doesn't want these stuffed mushrooms Kaylin makes, fine, more for us.
Right, exactly. Sucks to be you. I hope you like starving.
I don't like mushroom. I will not eat mushrooms.
All right, is this a definitive statement, or are you
Yes.
saying like yes?
Definitive.
Okay,
so
that's how and why this is a go-to.
All right, so this is where I will provide some empathy for you. So my partner, she's the same way. She does not eat cooked mushrooms. She will raw dog it. Yeah, buddy.
What?
Right? She'll
Likewise.
raw dog it, but does not like cooked mushrooms. Something about the texture.
That's really weird because when they've been drowned in olive oil and set on fire,
Right.
they get better.
They do get better. Let's just say
I did portobello's last night as well.
I don't know what her problem is. I mean, because she clearly likes Fun Guy. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
All day, folks.
Well,
all day.
So my half Asian wife doesn't like seafood
What?
or onions or peppers or anything spicy.
What the Whiskey Tango Foxtrot? How's it? How are y'all still married? Right?
She's really cute,
That's fair. That's legit feedback.
and
Nobody calls me chicken. Don't call me dinner.
I'm clearly.
Everybody's gonna be lamb stew.
Are you married outside your weight class? Like what's going on here? Like,
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I'm
Yeah.
clearly alpha, and she's like. There's
You're alpha?
there. Believe it or not.
Okay.
It's kind of a beta and omega.
Yeah.
You're fish oil. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm fish oil.
I'm an epsilon. She's the upsilon. It's very strange. It's all Greek to me.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're Greek
We
to me.
invented it.
Hey!
It all comes back to us. Thank you. Thank you.
That said, like I got to hand it to whoever's naming these COVID variants.
Right.
Everything's gone Greek. It's like, all right, we have what, the Delta and the Omicron. Like,
Yes.
Wait. Meanwhile, those are also Lancia vehicles. That you have the rally car and the Omicron was a bus they built in the 20s.
Right. Speaking of rally cars, since you both are
We like rally.
Okay, so what is your opinion? Because they just came out with the new body style. Have you guys seen the new WRX yet from Subaru?
It's hideous.
Okay, so I might be in the minority here. I don't mind the overly large plastic flares on the over the wheels.
I do.
Am I
Only
the
if-
only? Am I the minority?
Yes.
Yes.
If the car's black and then it's less visible. Meanwhile,
But don't you want it to look like? Because it looks like everything of a rally car should be. It looks like a Mad Max vehicle ready to go off road and storm the castle.
I mean, I've already been pissed that the WRX and STIs, rest in peace,
Sty is now
they
dead.
did
Yes.
away
Yeah,
with
here it is.
the hatchbacks in 13. I like my hatchbacks. I like my tiny car that can hold a lot of stuff.
Okay, so you like clown cars.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, you do you, boo. But for me, so when it comes to hatchbacks, and I just sat in one recently. It's like fat guy little coat syndrome. Like that's exactly how I felt. But I hear they're popular, and like if you're all into that, go for it.
On a car.
I mean, meanwhile, I went from a hot hatch of 20 years ago to a couple of cold hatches, but with the pedal commander, it's less awful. So at least the revs come on quickly.
Right.
By no means is it a fast car, but it does make it more entertaining. I'm sure I bored you to death with this a year ago with Red Car that I did the pedal commander.
I'm okay with that.
And Silver Car, same thing.
Yep.
Finally got that installed a month ago, and it makes drive less awful. But, you know, it'll hit 100 eventually.
I just don't. It's a car, and it's not for me. It's not a homologation rally car. So you don't. The people who are buying that are not taking it rallying. So I'm okay with it. The black plastic on my Jeep.
Okay.
Because it's a Jeep.
It's a Jeep. Right.
Or my Vibe that was blue and gray. It's like, oh, my car is its own Civil War.
I don't like plastic cladding on a car.
Okay. Is it just so? What about it that is offensive for you? Does it feel cheap? Is that what it's okay?
It looks cheap.
Looks cheap. Okay.
It looks cheap to me. It looks like we could have painted this,
but we didn't.
Yeah.
So I will say,
it's like blank switches.
Right.
If you go into a car that has blank buttons, you're like
okay, you clearly just like carbon printed this, like on repeat, and you didn't feel like blanking that out.
Have you seen a base model Porsche?
A what?
Base model Porsche?
Yeah. Blank switches.
So many buttons
now
that are not working. It's not supposed to be contagious, man.
Right. We're all just passing right. Yeah. Right. So, but I get that. Like, it's like you look at that and it's just all right. You could have like easily smoothed this out and made it look like okay, this was intended to be smooth. No, it's just thank you for reminding me that I did not splurge for the extra switches. Thank you for making me feel cheap.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Meanwhile, I was like, no, I'm going to order miscellaneous switches. But never mind.
Right.
My car has precious few spots considering the few options available.
I'm sure.
Basically, with mine, you could have had choice of color, transmission, and GPS. That's it.
Right.
And when it switched from the Scion model to the Toyota model, all right, it comes standard in the 17 model with lane keep assist and, hey, you're following somebody too closely. If my
like BMW
car,
drivers.
Also, yes. But, like, if the car starts making this, like, very firm beeping thing, like, something has it very upset. Only a few times have I felt this has been legit. Like, no, I know what I'm doing here, but I can turn those off.
It's like a faux closeness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I'm not really close to you. Am I?
If it's beeping at me like an angry digital watch, yes. It's like, what the hell is that?
Right. You're low on battery.
Yeah, it's like it's still a gas-opped car, and it has a few smart features, but still behaves like the dumb car that I crashed. Right. It's like it has these two features that I can turn off.
What do you do with your faux switchboard? Like the areas where you have a blank canvas?
I got a feeling I need to go to eBay and buy weird stuff.
Just like buy shit just like to adhere to the plastic, right?
It's like I've been meaning to install fog lights for a while. I have the kit and have no idea what to do with it because there are no directions for this.
Right. Did you buy the Knight Rider kit?
See what you did there.
Things I should have done with the Pontiota.
You should have done that.
Yeah, that's how and why the Pontiac Vibe lasted so long. It was mechanically a matrix.
So now he's had one more car than I have.
All right, so collectively, so I'm curious. So I rattled off all my cars earlier. How do I compare to you both in terms of?
I've had 11.
11. So you're Spinal Tap. Okay,
and he's
so 12. I guess I'm at 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, if it weren't for that pesky F-150,
he still had the rep. Honestly, the silver one's a nicer car.
Yeah, it was a better kept version of the same thing. That, except for the bells and whistles, it's a better car.
Yep.
That and the body cladding on both of them suck. The little like running boards, like the one on the passenger front end.
Joke about them.
You've had significantly more European cars than I have because I've had 0.
You're probably better off with that because, again, you look at it wrong.
Well, all right. For what it's worth, all right, it was 2 Volvos that were built in Sweden.
Volvos?
But Volvos?
Volvos?
Mulvas.
When they're really wet, they're really fun.
I've heard that. I need to learn that.
And and the V-dubs, one was from Pennsylvania and one was from Mexico.
Interesting.
So the European cars.
And you've only had 4s and 6s
Yep,
cylinders.
I've not had a V8.
I've had a
and
V8.
my biggest engine displacement was 3.0 in the
Wow.
Camry.
Mine was 5.2 liter V8 with the Dodge truck.
Does it have a Hemi?
I don't think it did have at that point.
No, but the fact that
just kiss my
displacement
sister.
kept going.
You know what a Hemi is?
Sounds like a yeast infection. Go ahead. Sorry.
Kind of is. A Hemi is a hemispherical combustion chamber.
Okay, you're about to gearhead on us. Please.
Yep.
Instead of just normal combustion changer, it's hemispherical.
Okay.
So it's
And,
A semicircle.
considering
Half
most of
as
Southern
fair.
America, Southern United States cannot say hemispherical, they condense it to
like a Hemi.
Hemi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is real funny when I saw go through work. That was a Kia Soul with the Hemi, Hami, because hamster ad campaign, 1.6 liter
Yep.
decals on it, and apparently annotations didn't explode.
So you've had no wagons.
No wagons proper, yeah. Hatchbacks, yes, but
Hatchbacks,
no
yes.
proper wagon.
I've had no wagons.
Otherwise, I would still have that Volvo 240 had it been a wagon,
Yes.
or the 740 had I not crashed it.
I've had
Yes,
one
I
convertible.
survived. My first car wreck was in a Volvo.
Oh, gotcha.
Everybody
Actually,
walked.
I think my better half, Jana, her first car wreck was also in a Volvo. She had a Volvo convertible. I can't remember what year it was or what model it was. It was a
C70.
probably.
Yeah,
Yes, that sounds familiar.
I got stuck behind one driving here.
Those are good looking cars.
Whoever's driving that thing, I'm going to pluck them out of that fucking car. It's like they couldn't stay in the lane. Like you're driving 28 in the 35. It's like, luckily I don't have anything to throw at you.
Steve's
but
been
my aim's not
consistent.
good.
Steve's been consistent. Like I've been all over the. I've had
all over the
You've
map.
had 2 trucks.
Yeah,
I've had 1 truck, but
I
it was
had
a V8. But I've had a van.
down by
oh
the river.
man, dude.
Yes.
Okay, one of those.
Thanks, Matt Foley.
You're welcome.
Yes. And I've had a convertible, but I've had a lot of I've had sport compacts, sports sedans, and 2 SUVs. This was my longest kept car I've ever had. It was a 1987 Mitsubishi Starion.
Oh wow!
And
I
it
see one of those in
was
ages.
quick. It was quick.
Yeah. Which
Did
is
you
real.
put a short thrower in it, or did you?
No, it was 225 horsepower. No, 248 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. In a
All right,
car, and it was not gutted, but I didn't have air conditioning, ABS,
windshield
all
wipers.
windshield wipers.
all the
Yeah,
proper standard
wipers.
safety features, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's,
It was quick.
Did you Ace Ventura it, like stick
20
your head out the window when it was raining? So that
20
would be
pounds
safe?
of boost.
Okay, yeah.
It was fun.
But I'm a torque slut, so like to me that is some great get off the go.
and yet you've
It
never
was.
had a diesel.
no, I have not.
But I also have had my convertible, my S2000.
Like you're getting a Jetta TDI wagon. What's up?
Nice.
Post Dieselgate, it's gonna
it's
get
gonna
neutered.
nice little touring edition, right? Yes.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Can't. No,
By the
that's
way, I
two-station wagony.
I forgot.
That's the joke.
2008 S2000 CR just went on Bring a Trailer for $200,000 at 189 miles on it. 189.
I've heard some good things about Bring on the trailer. Is that what?
Bring a Trailer.
Bring a
Bring a
Trailer.
trailer. Yeah, yes. That's for classic car like purchasing and selling. Correct.
A little bit of everything. Like
I just got you a new sponsor.
it all
Meow.
runs together between Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids.
Cars and Bids is
It's just
Doug DeMuro's.
A bunch of weird stuff that it's eye candy, but I don't feel that's going to be what I'm going to buy my car.
Honestly,
Okay.
I haven't even bought a car from my own company.
I came close to looking at Carvana. I came close to potentially taking an offer for them for one of my vehicles, and then I realized again the used car market is just blowing up ridiculously.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
like
gonna
good
find some
news.
sucker
They'll
on the
offer
street
you
for
a
$5.
lot,
Right.
but
Yeah, you're gonna Carvana's gonna offer wholesale. I'm like, yeah, I can still
for a while they were offering generous ransoms for used cars, but what you gonna replace it with?
get right.
Like my car's currently worth $15 on there, and I got it for 13. Mm-hmm. It's like cool,
but what do you replace it with?
Yeah,
right.
Like
so you got to plan this, right?
I kind of lucked out that my dad having assisted me with the 03 Vibe to 16 sign conversion. I lucked out finding that car for $8,000 in Atlanta, and only later discovered its major flaws. Oh well.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Sorry about that, viewers.
There was the S2000 I had before I sold it.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
Was that a convertible?
Yeah, it was a hardtop convertible.
Well,
yeah.
the
slick.
The hardtop was a $4,000 option new,
$4,000 option.
such, and none of the aftermarket ones fit as well.
Nope. So I
that's
bought
been a
it for
running
20
gag with that.
I kept it 7 years and I sold it for 20.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
And now they're going for
it went up. Someone's got
Was that a 5 or 6 speed?
6.
Okay.
And rear wheel drive because
Yes, reasons.
and
Right.
I
I didn't realize Honda actually made rear wheel drive cars. I always thought they were front wheel drive.
S2000 and an SX.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's pretty much when
Moment of
Honda
silence for the
and
NSX.
a motorcycle. So
when Honda goes, we want to build a bespoke race car. They can do it.
Okay.
They
just choose.
It
not
doesn't
to.
make any money. They will sell 1 million Civics and Accords every year. They don't need to make, but when they try, it's great.
Yep.
And it was the bit like revving that thing out to 8,300 RPM,
which is also something I could have done with the Vibe.
Right.
Yes.
Have you all seen photos of the new Acura Integra that's coming out later this year?
Yep, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't mind the
okay.
don't mind the exterior styling
looks,
of it.
It looks better than the LX.
But here's the thing: it's the same damn engine as the Civic Si.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay, so I'm spending an additional $10,000 for a nicer interior. That's really what it's going to come down to. Give me what's their their Type S or Type R. Give me
S.
S.
Or
Like give me something with a little bit more
A spec. I think it's A spec.
A spec. Well,
That,
I think
the base Integra is automatic
A-spec?
only, and the higher model gets the stick
6-speed.
option.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I think A spec has more to deal with the interior accoutrement that comes within the vehicle. So it's,
Quoi?
Yeah. Sacre bleu. So
Je ne parle pas français, mon frère.
les croissants. So it actually it has
Breakfast.
It's supposed to have like the A spec, as I understand it, is supposed to be more dealing with their like the upgraded interiors and things of that nature, like the stick speed and then other accoutrements that come on with it. But I want to see an upgraded engine. If you're going to be an Acura and a luxury brand,
Yeah,
don't give me just a
to have
same engine as your consumer
to
Gen
have
Pop car.
an Integra Type R revisited.
Yes,
Would not suck.
that would not suck. No,
That we finally have the Type R Civic, but that's so much crap tacked onto it that quick but visually unappealing.
Oh, God, it's
I
appalling.
kept joking with that generation Civic. The faster it goes, the uglier it gets.
It's sort of like sneakers, right? The uglier they are, the better they are for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sneakers is an athletic form of footwear that people wear when they go jogging.
I got my sandwich socks on too. So.
Yeah. Check out my $30 Skechers. What's up?
Those are sketchy.
Yeah, the magic of shopping Kohl's clearance for sneakers. All right, they had a bunch of 11
No judgment.
wides, so I bought all of them.
All of them.
Yeah. So the fact that shoe wear gets real pricey.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's obscene. Like my most expensive pair of sneakers lately was $44 from the same avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I wear
So
out shoes at work.
Yeah, I had. It's less the case now, but so it's kind of out of paranoia that I had to buy every reasonably priced pair I could find, and well, now I can relax about that.
In a previous life, part of my college years, one of the odds and end jobs that I owned beyond or participated in beyond just being a beer man,
Yes.
was a cobbler. So repairing shoes.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, random factoid.
Your dessert.
Yeah, I'm the Al Bundy.
You're
I'm
looking
the Al Bundy
peachy.
of the late generation 90s.
Oh,
Yes,
that's amazing.
Yeah, there he is. Right. No. So when you talk about shoes, so I work in a very boring corporate America job, and my boss, if you're hearing this, it's not boring. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, so as wearing dress shoes to work. One of my important things is, can they be salvaged? Can they be resold? Can they be rehealed? So if I'm investing X number of dollars in shoes, I look at, can I keep the longevity of those shoes, especially if the style is pretty timeless? Can I just take them to also a cobbler, and then can they resole, reheal, and then at that point, I don't have to spend, again, bugos of dollars on new set of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, these are my sneakers, but they're more like dressy sneakers over here. Again, I know that once they're done, but I've had these for like 5 years. So they've held on pretty well. They're also not my daily wear. Again, I'm also a shoe whore and have a gaggle of shoes in my repertoire.
I would have shoes and guitars if that was my thing. Mm-hmm. Like I love these, but I'm more of a loafer kind of guy.
Do you like to loaf around? You
Yeah.
seem kind of crusty.
I tried to bake bread one time. It wouldn't rise, and it turned out to be the yeast of my problems.
Oh, as it should be. Yeah. I do like your wry sense of humor.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
Can you believe we've been doing this for 2 hours and 20 minutes?
It feels like I could keep talking. So
Everybody.
but I know you got to like start tapping out. Like I assume your viewers are going like, all right, guys.
The viewers,
listeners,
yes,
the
that's right.
anybody paying
the
attention to
tens
this?
of people that thought. No, actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some more credit on that, right? So,
we have download wise. I
least
think it was over
doesn't sound
2,500 downloads.
2,500 downloads. That's awesome. Like seriously. Like,
but streams, I haven't checked the streams or anything of who've tuned in.
Right.
So
this could be like live porn for them if like they were like into that. All 2,500 of your viewers.
you know what? Sex work is still work.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, man.
I got to pay for an M3 eventually. So
I'm using my butt. Like when I play music, I'm using my. I don't have fingerprints on this hand because of playing guitar so much.
Right.
So
you cannot do a 5-finger death punch because you have no fingertips.
and I have taste.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You don't have tap out gear? Come on.
If your name is Ivan Moody, and that's your real name,
That's it. That is your real name.
yeah,
Yes,
I don't know.
So five flavored fruit punch. Like their sound is the fucking same. All right. So this is my soapbox moment. One of many.
Please.
So all right. So every fucking song by them is exactly the same. Double bass. I'm a badass. Double bass. I'm gonna kick your ass. Guitar solo. Catchy riff. Here's my cover. Mic drop. Rinse and repeat.
Yep.
Every song by them.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yep.
Just I cannot give so back in the day, like American Capitalists, I did go to the American Capitalist tour in 2012 to watch them, and I was again when I saw them live, they're fantastic live.
Mm-hmm.
But then as more stuff got released by them, half their shit is covers. I know it's not half their shit. I get that. So before you start lambasting me, like how dare you? No, they at least have 2 covers per
Dare
album.
you, crowd?
Yeah.
And
How dare you?
Even the people that listen to this are not the how dare you crowd.
Nah.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No
problem.
Okay,
so,
good.
So you want like our crew's good.
Okay, cool. All right. So again, five flavored fruit punch, right? Okay.
Yes.
5-finger cover band, right? So like again, every
5-finger discount.
right? Yes, fact, right?
I stole
Also
the
called
Simpsons. It was
shoplifting.
4-finger discount.
Right. But yes, they're like all their shit sounds the same. So
Yeah.
that's
Anything?
Yeah, tinkle. Do what you got to do.
go forth and
Beer.
conquer.
Oh, you want a beer?
Dare you?
No, I'm good. I'm
you?
again sticking on the horse I rode in on.
All right, I still got a little bit here. You get.
So is the end goal to finish your cans and then wrap up, or is this just like we keep going until like okay, we're hungry, it's time to eat?
Hey man, all these cans are empty anyway,
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
and
All right.
except this one. So
What is that one? So that's your German, not quite Irish beer that.
Well, this one's the Red Rooster, and this is really good.
Yeah.
Does
So he's got the Was that the Amber?
Yeah, it's really
that's
good.
the Red Rooster Amber, and I have the Pilsner from Gilda.
By the way,
funny thing, buying German beers from the other German supermarket, Lidl, that's what these are from.
Okay.
And this is the new German brewery that has a satellite operation in Charlotte now.
Okay.
that's the
That may or may not have been the reason that last I went to Holden Beach a month ago, there were trucks carrying giant beer tanks and really tying up 218 in the process. So bad news for anybody westbound on 218 that day back.
Right.
I think it was St. Patrick's Day. So it was real funny seeing 4 semis carrying these gigantic German beer tanks from Zeebird or whomever.
There's a damn good Mexican joint walking distance from here, and then there's also really good.
I could stand to walk.
There's really good wings, like
Tommy like wingies.
yes.
See, it's all
Empire,
tied back to
Empire-
Tommy Boy
yep,
right there.
Empire
right?
Pizza has great wings and pizza. So
Yep.
I could use something to nosh on actually before I go home and make a healthy dinner. So
gotcha. So I hate to say it's not dealer's choice tonight, but it's $4.51. So
I'll go with the Mexican. I would like.
you want Mexican?
I want Mexican.
You are you guys doing dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can eat a little something, but I got to be somewhat goodish before I go back and make dinner. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I can still eat.
Well, if you're doing dinner proper with in-laws, you probably shouldn't eat a lot. Yep. So I'm okay with being on our own then. If we're gonna do that.
Here I go again on my own.
You know what they called? You know what?
You're about to kill your own joke.
Robert Plant called David Coverdale. He called him David Coverversion.
So 2019.
Wait, that's what I named my phone.
David Coverversion.
It is
I still got
Coverdale.
I still gotta go.
X-Cover Pro.
I still gotta go feed the Leighton kitties too. So
Oh, yeah.
so
I saw. Speaking of White Snake, saw
Yes.
them for the first time in 2019. They were here at Bohangles Arena, I think it was, or either that, like the theater right next to them.
yes.
Right? It was every 80s washed up stripper at this venue. It was amazing. All the leopard print, all the big hair, all the Ashton Watts jeans. And Coverdale came out rocking his velour suit, like the jumpsuit. He looked like a hot grandma. Like he just came out there and like, "Hello, darling." And so yes, he was like still wooing the front crowd, and all the way he's like, "Oh
yeah.
yes, I'll dance on your car."
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yes, it was amazing. It was great. It was fantastic. People watching.
How many Jaguars were in the parking lot?
Too many.
Or
How many were running?
Or how many Cougars were in the front
There
row?
was a plethora of Cougars out there. Right.
Thanks.
10
It
human
means a
and
lot.
1 Mercury.
Right. Wow, way to throw that in there. It's good time.
I'm okay with that. Yep. So I guess we'll be on our own for dinner since you had to cook and you got dinner. And I love my wife, but she's not a cook.
As an Asian, that's disappointing.
I know.
Right.
I know. Like
Do you like chicken and rice? Chicken and rice? Chicken
everything
rice?
she's cooked is good. She has no confidence in that cooking.
You just got to boost her ego.
Hey, you're gonna meet her again pretty soon.
Oh, like in
and
about 5 minutes, and so I like okay,
something like
okay,
that.
I'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'll be
She-
tasteful.
you
Or
can
tasty.
you can only go so far to the edge.
Okay, got it. So find the line and completely step over it. Got it. Okay, got it. I know my role.
Yes.
Okay, done.
Yes.
That metaphorical cliff drop it hurts way less.
Okay.
So that's how fast 2.5 hours goes by.
That is amazing, by the way. I had an absolute blast.
Isn't it fun?
This is fun. I like bullshitting for like 2.5 hours. So thank you for having me. This is great.
No problem. Anytime.
Pleasure to finally meet you, sir.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for finally finding some time that fits in my wonky schedule. So,
I've been trying to. I've been telling him, I was like,
Yeah, it's like
wait till Luke's
get
come
Luke
on.
Get
It'll
Luke
be
on. Get Luke on. Get Luke on.
It'll
It's
be-
been a half a dozen times he's tried to do this.
Right.
So
And now
now
it's
this happened,
finally-
and why, yes, you
Well,
could totally
I
do
would
this again sometime.
I would love to come back, like whenever schedules align and whatnot. But this has been an absolute delight. Hopefully, all 2,500 people that have downloaded this have actually enjoyed hearing my voice. So
please do.
yes,
Please
yeah,
feel free to share your newfound.
Oh, I will. I have a gaggle technical term of stickers that I can like propagate all over Charlotte.
Yes.
And I will, with all my hundreds of Facebook followers, I will definitely be posting this because again, I'm also about self promotion, but also about fellow friends promotion as well.
Yes.
To say like, hey, this is a cool podcast. Check it out. We talk about booze, cars, and music. 3 of my favorite things.
It's the best thing. It's the best 3 things.
Yes, absolutely. We can also stray off into other topics too. So I'm like,
That's also true.
Yes.
And I've compared
Dr.
this.
Mario or Tetris, go.
What?
Dr. Mario or Tetris, go.
Oh shit. Tetris. Tetris all day.
I've compared like
There's a game that combines the two, by the way.
Oh, okay.
being on stage is comparable to sex, to me.
Okay.
It's that enjoyable.
Oh, you know what? That's completely fair.
Because if you're that egotistical, like I am, you want people to look at you. You want to perform.
Yes.
And it's like that. It really is that.
Look at me. Look at me. Yes.
Yes.
You've
Absolutely.
never fixed the cable ever.
Fix the satellite.
Same diff.
No, Dave Matthews sucks.
Yes. Thank you. We need to end on that note. Dave Matthews can suck a bag of dicks with all the FCDs. Yes, I've said it. There. That's my ending note, right?
Yes.
All you Dave Matthews Band fans are ants marching. That's
He is,
all you are.
He is talented. I just don't. I don't enjoy it at all, and Steve doesn't either.
All right.
And you don't either.
Y'all are my people. Like,
that's
that is-
the
I
big
love
difference
this.
of my
Yes.
wife and myself.
We all hate Dave Matthews.
But
Yes.
even she's bored by him now, so she's turning.
You know what?
Thank you. I
That's
don't think we can end on such a higher note.
I don't
other
think
than
so
that.
either.
Right.
That's good. Luke, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Boom.
Bam. Boom. Boom. All right. He's Luke.
I'm still Steve.
And I'm the Greek, and you're AJ.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
There you go.
And we're done. Bye-bye, guys, gals, friends of the Playhouse. You didn't say it.
Toodles?
Toodles.
Goodness.
Toodles.
That's been half of them at this point.
TTFN.
Haffles.
TTFN.
TTF.
Toodles for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
TTFN?